bitch. Anyways, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is episode 409.
We should be drinking 409.
409. Fireman. Wait.
What?
What?
Fireman's 409.
Fireman's 4? Is that what you're thinking of?
That's probably what he's thinking of.
Oh, giddy up 409.
You know what? I feel
What's up, man?
I was holding on to these beers until mid-show when we started talking about Silent Hill, and then I was like gonna bust it out and be like, before we talk about this, everyone have a beer. But then like you just left it open perfectly. Or like before the show, we were frustrated. I was frustrated, and you were just like, Nick, you need a beer, and I was like, well, fuck yes. So I hope you enjoy the beer. Are we talking about Silent Hill first?
Hey, thanks for the beer.
I mean, we can if you want to.
This was supposed
You
to be.
want to just rip that Band-Aid
This is
off?
supposed to be. Yeah, kind of. I'm gonna just rip this Band-Aid off. Anyways,
Turns out Silent Hill is a mobile franchise.
We'll get to it. People will stick around.
sorry.
People will stick around to hear us talk about Silent Hill.
All right. Anyways, I haven't technically finished
Hey, I'm
introducing the
Brad.
show. That's Brad. Nolan's here.
How's it going, everybody?
Christopher Guthridge,
Hey, what's up, guys?
commonly referred to as Crispy, and of course, my name's Nick Henderson. And we're gonna talk about video games. It's been a week. It's been
I
a
like
thing.
video games.
Anything anybody wants to get off their
I don't
chest?
think any of us have been playing anything too major.
No, I don't
Right?
think we have. Well, that's the problem, is nothing major's coming out until Witcher.
I finished Titan Souls.
Yeah.
All 19 bosses.
That's crazy.
There's only 19? I thought there was 20.
There are 19, and
game's a
the
rip-off.
19th
Wait.
one is a super secret boss that you can only unlock by beating all the other 18.
What does Steam say you as far as you spent on the game as far as time?
He played on PS4.
I didn't look at. I played it on PS4, and I didn't look at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I did. I can tell you that I killed 19 enemies because there's only bosses in the game, and I died 465 times.
That's not that bad. That's like an average of 50
Somebody
times a boss.
tweeted at me and was like, "Hey Nick, don't feel too bad about dying like 60 times in that boss." He's like, "For all 139," he's like, "I died of my 139 total deaths. I died like 80 times during that one boss." I was like, "Great, that makes me feel fantastic."
It'd be like
Because I've died 400 plus times.
once a day, twice on weekends.
That game is torture.
Yeah.
That game is just utter torture. But I couldn't put it down. There's that. I liked it. Go play it if you are into that kind of sick shit.
Do you think the gameplay and the time you spent on it was worth the price?
I don't even remember what I paid for it. I think $15. No, I got a PS Plus. It was $13. That was why I did it on PlayStation because it was
Oh, I didn't realize
$2
it was
cheaper for
cheaper.
PlayStation Plus members.
Money isn't really a thing to Nick.
No, money is
Well, I'm not. I know,
money is more of a formality. to
I
me.
realize. I'm just saying to someone else. Like, that was my qualm with the game.
If you were-
it seemed like it was a little overpriced for what it was.
Well, if you're maybe for you, Nolan, because you probably die like 10 times in the game and you get through it super quick. But I died 400 times and it took me like a week to finish it.
okay,
So I don't know. $13 seems all right.
Are you satisfied with the experience?
Yeah, but I'm really glad it's over. I'm pretty happy to say I'm never going back to that.
I was going to
Yeah.
say something very.
And by the way, Jaeger said maybe Nick can pick Bloodborne back up. I have been playing Bloodborne. I beat the Shadows of Yharnam last night. Although I did ring the beckoning bell for the first time ever, and I kind of.
Don't you feel too bad about that?
I don't feel bad. I wanted to I wanted to try it because it's a mechanic and I haven't used it yet.
What did you use it for?
The Shadows of Yharnam.
Oh.
I fought the Shadows of Yharnam twice, and I almost killed the second two out of three of them. And then I was just like, this seems like a good candidate to use the beckoning bell on.
I see why. I mean, there are. It is 3-on-1, which kind of sucks, especially when it comes to boss fights. Most of the boss fights prior have been 1-on-1, so it's very easy to kind of single out the boss.
It's the one that shoots fireballs. It's a pain in the fucking dick.
Yeah, that one was tough.
It was a pain.
I think I went after
Wasn't
that
it-
one first.
Wasn't it like one with a big weapon, one of them with a gun, and then the other one does
One has like a spear, and about halfway through the fight, maybe once you kill one of them, or maybe every time you kill one, like the other two,
There's a few different scenarios.
the remaining become stronger and they
Yeah.
get into attacks, whatever. At one point, snakes burst out of their heads, and then
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that
it was cool
whole
looking.
that whole fucking section with the snakes, like I had nightmares.
I remember there was all this drama about me opening up a shortcut before the boss, and I was freaking out. And they're like, "But this run is fine." I one shot at the boss. Felt like a boss.
Did you find the aliens?
oh yeah,
Okay.
dude, they all die in one hit though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the aliens.
the kin.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's the
I am
scary looking ones.
to
that
answer your
can fuck
question,
you up.
Jaeger. Sorry, I am very much still playing Bloodborne and loving the shit out of it. Just been busy, been playing Titan Souls. The thing is, I've been like desperate to like finish a game this year because like it's been we're almost at the end of month 4, and I've only finished like 2 games this year. And I was just like,
you'll get there. It's always a slow start.
yeah, but I'm playing like 5 or 6 games at a time. I was like, I just got to finish something. And
That's
I was
one
like,
of the
Titan
issues,
Souls
yeah.
seems like a very, you get through, you beat 19 bosses, and then boom, it's done.
Yeah.
I just, goddamn, that secret final boss of that game is I'll just tell you this: the last 2 bosses in that game, I literally beat with miracle shots.
I was watching you fight the 18th one, right?
No, that was just like a random boss in the game. When you were over there last Friday, that was just a random boss. But the final...
Well, it would be a miracle shot if you went in on your first try and did what you did.
No, well, I died 50 times on the final boss, and then I went to bed, and the next morning I got up, first try. I fired an arrow, like I was pulling my arrow back to fire, and then he went to fire a shot at me or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, I just let go and rolled. Fucking arrow hit him right in the fucking, like I was like, oh my god.
How many times did you die to 19? Number 19?
That probably over 100 times, because that final boss has 3 forms. It's the only boss in the game that has 3 forms, and you have to, every time you die, you have to start all forms over.
At that point, isn't it kind of like monkeys on typewriters?
and that boss, like I was getting so, like I knew what I had to do from the very beginning, and I couldn't do it, and then so that final boss is hard because it's this giant spider thing in the middle with an eyeball, and he has all these like sperm things flying around with mouths on them, and you have to basically avoid those while trying to take a shot at the boss. But you can also shoot the little sperm dudes, right?
So you're like
So I shot at one of the sperm dudes, and then I was pulling the arrow back to me, and when I was pulling it back to me, hit the boss in the eyeball.
Nice.
Totally.
Speaking of sperm dudes, most of these chatters most of our viewers were just little sperm dudes when I was playing grown-up games. And then 5 years later, they played Banjo Kazooie, and I was still playing grown-up games.
Transition.
that was one of your worst transitions ever, I think.
It had potential, and then I couldn't pick up the thread. But I've been playing Banjo Kazooie.
Dude, I
don't fucking know why I'm playing Banjo Kazooie. I don't know.
You put it on the fucking...
You put it on the thing, and you've been.
I know, but why did I put it on the thing?
I don't know.
Because somewhere deep down, you
Okay.
actually want to play it.
I did a marathon open game night on Saturday, where all day long people were playing. I mean, I was playing random games, and people were voting pass or play. And I got to Banjo Kazooie, and I played it for 15 minutes, and everyone voted pass. And I was like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. I'm going to give this game a chance. And I vetoed it, and I played for another 15 minutes. And it was in that second 15 minutes that I was like, huh. There might be something to this.
I love Banjo Kazooie.
Dude, that's
This is the XBLA version.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I was watching this. I was like, God, how did Brad get this looking so good? I thought you were running it on some kind of emulator or something.
So
I didn't even know they ported it.
Banjo Kazooie. I played it after Mario. Obviously, I mean, this is obviously a complete, not I don't say rip off of Mario, but it's definitely they got their idea for this game off of Mario 64, and it's very a collectathon. Instead of 100 coins and levels, there's 100 notes.
Well, let me talk about this.
But I just wanted to say that I know you were kind of pooping on it a little bit at one point. But this is one of my most memorable games from when I was a kid playing this, especially when it comes to like level design, music. Some of the music in this game sticks with me more than the Mario 64 music.
Dude, yeah, the music is good, especially when you go into different parts of levels. It like remixes it and stuff.
I fucking love the music
is really
in
cool,
this.
and it has a lot of personality. I think that's why it's so memorable. I think that's why
Why do you keep running past that puzzle piece? Sorry.
You don't pick that puzzle piece up. So the reason I kind of was like poo-pooing on this game in the past is because I did think it was kind of a filthy collectathon, and I never liked 3D platformers in the first place, especially when they started to become collectathons. Yeah. Like in this era is when they started to get really kind of shitty, like Donkey Kong 64, which was kind of a shit show when it comes to collecting. One of the games I played during my marathon was Jak and Daxter, and my god, all you do in that game is collect just the most random bullshit that means nothing. So I actually played maybe about a half hour or to an hour of this game in the past, and I got really when I first purchased it on XBLA, and I got really frustrated with it. And I will say that like this game does not put its best foot forward. The first area starts out with a ton of tutorials that are just teaching you mechanics that you don't even understand the real purpose of them. And there are so many mechanics in this game that they throw at you right away.
There's a lot.
And you're like, well, what's the point of this fucking shoulder dash? And why am I punching and rolling? And honestly, a lot of it is kind of pointless. But what I realized is that that first area sucks, and the first level that you go to is also easily the lamest level in the game.
Is that the one with the anthill? Yeah, there's the big gorilla guy.
Yeah, there's just not much to it.
Yeah.
So it really didn't grab me, and it wasn't until I got into the next world, and then the world after that, and the one after that I realized, yeah, like Nolan said, there is really good level design here. Yeah. It's a game where it encourages the player to explore, much like Mario 64. And we've played Mario 64 fairly recently, all of us have, and we're kind of talking about the Mario games and how they're not really like these exploratory games anymore. And this one like completely is, where you have to find these puzzle pieces, and some of them aren't. You don't just see them necessarily. You have to like do a little mini game or you find like a secret to like like do a transformation to get into an area,
collect certain items to unlock it, or kill certain enemies and stuff like that.
So my other big concern about this game, and why I never really played it in the past, is because I did assume it was one of those horrible collectathons. And if you look on the screen, you see eggs and gold feathers and red feathers, and it's like this is what I saw when I was a kid that made me go, fuck this crap. I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid, right? Because they came out the same year, and I was a grown up. But what I've realized since I've been playing it the past couple of days is that stuff isn't collectible in the same way that there's collectibles in, say, like Jak and Daxter or Donkey Kong 64. That stuff that you're seeing is just ammo.
It's resources.
It's resources. So like the eggs are just things you shoot. The feathers are the things that let you fly. The golden feathers are the things that let you do your invincibility move.
So they give purpose to everything.
So it's not stuff that you're trying to collect all of. It's just there like ammo, like boxes of ammo in a shooter.
That's why it's everywhere. It's easier, so you don't have to like, oh shit, I can't find this. I think of like a Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds, when you're like, shit, I need some goddamn arrows, and you run around slashing random bushes to find arrows or just a few more rupees. It's very plentiful, and you can see it from a distance. You're like, oh, I need some red feathers.
Well, it's essentially the same. They just didn't hide it behind plants or pots or whatever. They just like, let's just throw it into the world.
Yeah.
For the next minute, I'm going to try to jump on this fucking.
Did you ever try doing a backflip?
Well, I do a backflip off of it.
Oh, okay.
But
see.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, there's a lot of mechanics in this game that you gotta get used to, which are all just kind of analogous to different things that Mario can do, except that they tie it into the lore of the bird with the fucking duck in his backpack or whatever the fuck. It's weird. It's weird, but it's goofy, and I think that's why people like Rare games, because they have a lot of personality.
You didn't like you pooping out the egg.
But yeah, that's the thing. You poop out eggs because why the fuck not? And it's cool. But the thing is, it does have really good level design. I do like how, like, all the puzzle pieces, they're essentially just your stars, except in this game you don't have to like leave a level once you collect
which is nice,
a puzzle piece, which is nice.
You can still just keep exploring.
And, the music notes are just like the coins, the 100 coins that you would collect in a stage, and the 8 red coins from Mario 64 are these little dudes that you're collecting. There's like 6 dudes you collect, Jinjos or whatever.
Jiggies?
Sounds really racist.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's not.
What is the Jiggies?
No, not Jiggies are the puzzle pieces.
Oh.
Just the names of them sounds like a slur.
They're little, it's hard to describe them. They're almost like kind of creatures, like they have a very long pointed face, and they're called like Jingos or something like that. But
Gingers?
Yeah,
Jinjos, yeah. Jinjo, because they say Jinjo when you pick them up. But I wanted to ask you, Brad, about the transformations.
Which, those can get a little tedious, because you have to, like, go to the skull dude every time you want to change. Well, look at this video footage here, though, real quick. This is one of my favorite parts of these Banjo Kazooie stages. Almost every single one of them
has its Creed.
Every single one of them has, like, almost every single stage has, like, this high point where you can just see the entire stage by just looking around. Not even Mario 64, like, has these kinds of places in these stages. And I actually found out where, like, I use this for exploration, kind of like, you would in Assassin's Creed if it was like a real fucking game with real fucking level design. But like, I saw this little basement door over here, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go over there now. Like, that's just a really cool feeling. That's something you didn't really do in that first stage because it wasn't that big and open.
Well, the first stage is pretty small compared to some of the other ones. And
it's a really cool game. So here's my question: why am I playing this game? I don't fucking know.
What are you? Do you feel insecure playing this game, Brad?
It does seem a little like easier and simpler than Mario
below
64. No, I mean that's the thing. I'm really enjoying this game. Like I'm playing and I'm asking myself kind of why.
Why not?
Well,
that's the real question. Why not play this game? Honestly, I would have played this a long time ago if I knew it was ported.
Yeah,
I thought if I wanted to play this game, I'd have to go back and bust out my 64 again. But
no, they also ported Banjo to it. My question for you is: do y'all think like Conker's Bad Fur Day holds up as well as this game or Mario 64, or did that game more rely on just its humor and that's why people remember it fondly?
I think Conker is more memorable for its humor, whereas this, I think, while it does have some humor,
which is very juvenile at this point.
Well, very.
Not that we're not juvenile in our humor.
I think the level design, albeit a copy of Mario 64, I think the level design and the environments and the music, definitely this game holds up on its own after the tale of time.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think so, but I think what happened is Rare kind of after a while just became not as good at making games, and they made like Donkey Kong 64 and stuff, and I hear good things about Banjo Tooie, even though it's kind of different in some ways.
So you've never played Tooie?
Never. No, this is my first time playing through Kazooie.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I know you played Nuts and Bolts, and you did enjoy your time with that. But that one of the big elements of that was the building of your vehicles, which is not in either of these games. And that was very unique for that game. So no, 1 and 2E do not have that. But 1 and 2E is a little. It's not as good as Banjo Kazooie. It's not as good, but it's still fun. It still has some great environments and some great level design.
It has a really giant interconnected world.
It does.
How long have you been playing this one?
I played like I have like 75 puzzle pieces,
which equates to about how long?
Out of like 120.
Yeah.
So I've been playing it a lot.
Quite a bit.
I have like over 600 of the notes or whatever. Mm-hmm. I've been playing it a lot, and I'm definitely going to finish it. I've even been like 100%ing it. That's the weird thing. Because they do such a good job of keeping track of how much of everything you collect in every stage, and it's all very symmetrical. So
you're enjoying the collectathon aspect.
But that's the thing. That's like saying I've collected this many stars, and I've gotten all 7 stars in these stages. It's satisfying in that same way.
I think the collection aspects of this game are much better than they were in Mario 64. I think it'd be because it's very transparent about what you have and have not gotten. It tells you straight up front. The fact that when you get a star, you don't have to leave a state. The one cool thing about Mario 64 was that entering and exiting a stage, depending on what star you chose, would alter the level in some aspects. You know what I'm saying? That's not in here, but because it's not in here, the level is always the same, so you always kind of know what's going on. You don't have to kind of do a little bit of guesswork. Should I re-explore this area?
Why are you standing in a toilet?
I have to turn to the little pumpkin to go down the toilet.
That toilet is sentient.
Yep.
Yeah.
That toilet lives a life.
Well, it's a rare
this
game.
is a game that this is a game that I wish was on the 3DS.
That is hell.
Well, it's on XBLA. Just play this version.
Why can't
My Xbox 360 isn't even hooked up right now.
Well,
Why can't you kill the toilet?
because it's friendly.
Yeah.
It talked to you.
No, I know, but that's why I want to help it by not existing. Like that's got to be.
You go down the drain. You turn into a pumpkin. You go down the drain, which I'm about to do. I want to say this. Even if you were to call this a collectathon, and I think this one, I think that term is derogatory. It's what people started calling the
especially
shitty
after the way you use it.
Well, no. Well, what I'm saying is that no one called Mario 64 a collectathon when that came out.
Yeah.
They just called it a great fucking game.
Correct.
They started collectathon, I think, as a derogatory term used to call games of this era that were aping that and kind of doing it wrong. As long as there's a point to the shit that you're collecting, if it synergizes well into all other aspects of this game, which I think they do in this game, then that's fine. But in stuff like Spyro the Dragon, where there's just gyms lining the walls of the stage just for the fuck of it, and you just collect them just because there's a gate that says you need to collect a bunch, and that's it. That's like the thing you collect in the game. Then that's bullshit.
But
Because,
like you're saying,
but the puzzle pieces in this game are I want to get all of them because the ways you get them are like interesting and clever. You're doing a different thing. It's fueled by exploration, and I stumbled into this cool little matching mini game, and that's how I got this one. And I want to collect them all because there's the way I get this other one might be completely different and fun, as opposed to just mindlessly collecting gems like in a fucking Spyro game.
So yes, I wanted to say that I do really enjoy the way they do the collecting in this game. It's all for a purpose. Like Mumbo Jumbo, the witch doctor guy. Yeah, exactly. You need a certain amount of his tokens to transform, and later in the game, you start needing more and more tokens. So you don't have to collect them all in a level. You can just get as many as you need. But then all of a sudden, you're gonna get to them one time, and you're not gonna have enough tokens to transform. Like Brad just transformed into a pumpkin, got the ability to because he had enough tokens for it. And I think similar to Mario 64 in the sense that like in this game, you need puzzle pieces to unlock new levels, and you don't have to have certain amounts from wherever. You just need X amount to unlock the new level. I think it's done really well. I think it took Mario 64's game plan, and I think it improved on it. I really think it did. Have you been to the beach level in this game? I really like that level. The shark always freaked me out when I was a kid.
All the levels so far seem really good. I mean, I don't think it's as like challenging or platforming focused as Mario 64.
No, it's not.
Which, I do think is a better game, but I am having a lot of fun with this.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I do plan to finish it.
I want to go. See, this opens up a whole new world for me because I didn't even know this game.
But like Jak and Daxter, dude, I could not play.
Dude, I love Jak and Daxter. Don't even start.
But that one, it really is. It's just collecting bullshit for the sake of collecting bullshit.
But, sure, but like that game to me had like a really beautiful world, and it was fun to explore, and cool characters, and great music, and just like, sure, it was a collectathon, but like I still had a damn good time exploring the world, even if it was just something to encourage you to look around this beautiful fucking world. I don't know. It's not as engaging or deep as something like Super Mario 64 or even Banjo Kazooie, but that game was cool, man. It's no Spyro. That's not fair.
I do want to say it's okay to like Spyro, guys. I do want to say that it doesn't even have to do with like these N64 era like games. Like I never liked collecting stuff, and even 2D platformers. One of the reasons that I don't like, say like Yoshi's Island as much as Mario World is because I think Yoshi's Island really kind of dialed it up with all the collecting the random shit in all the different stages. And I never had the motivation to do all that, but that was like the things you do in the levels of that game. So if you didn't want to do that, you kind of lost out on a lot of content.
Here's a question, and someone in chat brings this up, and I agree with him, but like, what is your opinion on Jak 2 then? Because Jak 2 was like the complete polar opposite of Jak and Daxter, in that it was actually fucking difficult. Really difficult.
Well, it has something to do with challenge. I mean...
Oh, but I mean, like, you were doing stuff in that game. It was, I mean...
No, I just never played Jak 2 because I never played Jak 1.
And Jak and Daxter... A lot of the appeal of Jak and Daxter to me was, like, it may be a collectathon, but, like, it is a platformer. Like, you are going through levels and you're navigating levels and jumping on things and making...
Sure. But you don't need to have pointless collecting bullshit to be a good platformer.
Didn't say that. I agree.
It's cool. Find all 8 cores, and if you collect 20 of these, you get a core. So you got to collect them.
I want to play Jet Force Gemini again. I never finished that game.
See, I don't think that one holds up.
That probably doesn't hold up, but I do want to try it again. I was actually going
to bring up Jet Force Gemini later in the show.
What about Buck Bumble?
Really?
Remember Buck Bumble?
I never played Buck Bumble.
I like Buck Bumble.
I think you're making that.
Forgot about that.
I don't think that exists.
But
a game that Brad doesn't know about?
The second game, I'm not going to say it holds up as well as the first, Banjo Tooie. I still remember enjoying it. Did you transform into an alligator in this? That might be in the second game. Is that in the first game?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little baby alligator.
Yeah, a little baby alligator.
It's like one of the first ones you get.
It's been a long time.
I will say the transformations, like at first you get ones that can actually do things, but then eventually you just start turning into shit that doesn't do anything except can fit through tiny holes.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I just wish,
Huzzah!
Multiple entendre.
Hey, Crispy.
Hey.
You've been playing a game I didn't know existed.
Dude, I heard about this game and I kind of like looked it over and was like, maybe I'll pick it up. Well, a couple friends of mine both recently got PS4s and both picked up this game and kind of convinced me to play with them. I am talking about Helldivers, as you can see up there. So Helldivers is a cooperative twin stick shooter, kind of pattern. I mean, it's a pretty basic twin stick shooter, but the whole like conceit of it is very much patterned after things like Starship Troopers and a little bit of like StarCraft, a little bit of like that kind of stuff. A little bit of like Warhammer 40K. Like if you look at their uniforms, it all looks very Warhammery. So in Helldivers, you control one of these elite soldiers called Helldivers who drop onto alien planets from like these capsules from orbital ships.
Like Titan.
And you just do you basically
havoc.
it's there will be different missions when you get down on the planet. So like for instance right here I think we're defending a point or oh no, this is an extraction right now. So you'll go down to a planet, there'll be a set of different missions you have to finish, and they can range from anything from like capture this point, destroy these bug nests, escort these civilians from point A to point B, recover a piece of technology, a whole bunch of different stuff.
Bake a cake?
Bake a cake, maybe. I don't know. I haven't found it yet. And then you have to go do this extraction where you call on a shuttle and wait. Oh, fuck. This is... Okay, all those mines on the ground. This was a game where there was 3 of us playing, and some random dude just dropped in and started griefing the fuck out of us.
Wait, isn't this the one you didn't... The footage you didn't want to use because the guy dropped in?
I forgot that was this one. This is also really late in the footage, too. Oh, this might have happened... Yeah, so we were...
end of a match and you're about to start a new one.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the twist is the friendly fire, right?
Oh, my God. That is like half of this game is just not getting killed by your teammates.
Wow.
That's what makes it
everything in this game can fucking kill you. Your own teammates can kill you. Any turrets you lay down can kill you.
So it's realistic to an extent.
Yeah, calling in equipment from orbit can kill you if you're not paying attention to where it drops. The shuttle that comes and picks you up can land on you and kill you. Everything can kill you. This is actually right here on this footage. I wanted to point out something really cool. Whenever you go to a planet, you'll always see these other capital ships kind of orbiting around. Each one of those, if you look closely, has a gamer tag over it. Those are other people who are playing that mission right now.
Huh. Oh, that's cool.
They're not playing with you, but they're playing in their own worlds. So everyone has like their own ship. So if I'm the host and all 4 of us are playing, we'll all be on my ship, and there will be a ship in orbit that says Inspector Chris, and then we all get in our drop pods on the ship and deploy down to the planet.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. This is the ship right here. This is like your main hub you go to between missions. It's got your galaxy map where you pick which planet you want to go to.
Crispy.
Yeah. No, I know. It's like all the trimmings to this are really speak to me. Right here, you're seeing like inventory, so you can upgrade your weapons. You have these things called stratagems, which those are the items that you will throw a beacon out, and they will drop equipment from orbit. And those drops range anywhere from like actual equipment drops, like weapons or mechs or vehicles, or like special packs that you can wear. The red ones are like offensive drops, so you can call in orbital strikes or strafing runs from fighters, shit like that. And this is like where you upgrade. So as you're out in the world, you'll find like these little like resources you can collect. As you collect them, you get research points. Those research points you spend to make your stratagems more effective. Like I said, the whole like general point, like mission to mission, is just complete a couple missions. Every planet will have like 2 or 3, maybe sometimes 4 missions. Once you complete all of them, you get a special reward for finishing that planet. Sometimes it's a new piece of equipment or a new stratagem. Sometimes it's just XP. It just really depends on how much stuff you have unlocked and like how far you are in the game. The really cool thing about this though is everyone is connected online, and the whole community is taking place in one war. So there are 3 different fronts to the war. So there's 3 different enemies you can fight. There's the bugs, like think Zerg or like Starship Trooper bugs. There's the cyborgs, which kind of look more like something out of like Warhammer 40K. And then there's the they're called the Illuminate, which is kind of like your Protoss, like advanced alien race. And each one of these fronts has like different sectors, and the whole community is working to unlock new sectors. Now, you can't like... So, for instance, I don't know if we're ever actually going to get to see the galaxy map in this video.
Yeah, Chris Davis
is too busy talking about payday in chat.
Yeah, but the sectors all advance as a community. So everyone in the world who's playing this game, as they finish planets in certain sectors, that goes into a meter that dictates influence on that front as far as like who's winning, either the Super Earth Federation, which is the Helldivers, or that particular enemy that you're fighting. And as we as a community complete sectors, new ones unlock, and you can actually get all the way to like that species like capital world and take it over.
Yeah.
And if that happens, that front is done. So like anyone who's starting maybe late in a war, after we've already completed one front, they have to just contribute to the other fronts that are active and wait for the new war to start. And as far as I can tell, these last about like 30 days or something like that, like a month.
Wait, so what happens if all 3 fronts are done? And
Then we win the war, and I guess they just automatically start the new war.
They shut down.
It's not like nobody can play until the war's over. It's
I gotta say, it kind of looks like a Civ game with all this menu stuff.
Well, this isn't. This isn't the one I wanted to use. This is. I think this is my roommate just going kind of ape shit on all of his stuff.
Is that stuff? Is that stuff good? Like it is the.
It is. Like the different like the different
subsystems and whatnot.
Yeah, it is really cool actually. So for instance, my roommate really likes to use the mech that drops down.
Yeah.
So every time we start a game, he'll open up his stratagems, he'll summon a mech, and he'll do most of the game in the mech. I found a really cool combination, especially when I'm fighting bugs. I like to do a jump pack and a flamethrower. So like I have a jump pack that lets me like rocket forward a certain distance, so I can like kind of move like more freely into like get to the front line of like where the fighting is,
or escaping,
or escaping really quickly. Yeah, and then I have a flamethrower that I can use to just kind of like lay down fire, literally.
Literally.
But then again, like the funny thing about that is
this
you
the
have
star
to
map?
be,
Is this the?
Yeah. Well, this is like selecting a planet in the current region. So as you can see,
Those planets are awfully close
there you
together.
go. So that's what the galaxy map looked like. You can see it was split into like three triads or whatever. So you pick a planet, it tells you like how easy the mission is, it tells you what rewards you get, and you can, I don't know if you noticed, but on the left hand side it's got community total. So it's got everyone in this sector, how many enemies have been killed, how many Helldivers are killed or have been killed, and how many accidental deaths, like Helldivers killing Helldivers, and those all update in real time. So like sometimes you'll go in the meters just going crazy.
I'll be honest, coolest thing I've seen so far was he selected a planet and then you were inside the ship.
No, look at this. Okay, so you go to the planet, it warps there, you select where you want to drop on the map, and where you drop actually determines, like, so you can drop really close to objectives, but you're going to be right near a lot of enemies if you do that. If you drop farther away, it gives you more time to lay out equipment and, like, kind of plan what you're going to do, but you have to hoof it to the objective.
Dude, I just like that you were inside the hub world and it showed light speed happening outside the window, and then it, like, showed... So
and then look, you can see my ship, you can see the other players, and then there we go.
Oh, that's
We're dropping down the planet. Like, once everyone's ready to start the mission, they all get in their little hell pods, and they close, and then once you select your loadout and select your drop zones, like, the pods actually launch. It looks so fucking cool.
It's like Destiny, but with stuff.
Dude, it is very much like Destiny. This is like what I would have wanted from Destiny, basically, and it's only $20, so it's really hard to kind of complain with that.
Although now, one thing I'll say
this is another really cool thing here too. The stratagems, as you see, every time you pull up one of those menus, each stratagem has a combo you have to enter. So you have to enter like a 6 or 7 input like directional button combo in order to get the beacon to summon the stratagem. Which means if you're in the middle of a fight and shit's like just going crazy around you, you have to stop and think about like entering a button combination to get the equipment you need. A lot of the objectives in the game, like summoning shuttles or like activating a SAM site or launching a missile or something like that, also have those objectives too. So there will be like one person at a computer console like actually entering in inputs while the other people are like covering him. It's so fucking cool.
Why did it have to have such a generic fucking name though?
Helldivers? What's wrong with that?
That name is so
So after the Helldivers get in their hell pods, do they put on their hell helmets and get their hell guns?
Any one word name that has hell at the beginning, just see that's one of the biggest things I think Hellblade has going against it right now.
It's I think it's kind of a play on like what ODST did with their with the ODST, because their motto was feet first into hell, and this is kind of a play on that, which all of that was a play on Robert Heinlein's novel Starship Troopers, because that's how they deployed in Starship Troopers, not the movie, the book. But it's really cool actually, because like a lot of these missions you kind of need a team to complete, but having 4 people in a match makes
I can imagine it get crazy.
incredible. Yeah,
difficult as well.
So, okay, that motherfucker right there, because you can just kill your teammates, and if you leave your like matchmaking to public, sometimes you'll get a dude who just drops in and just starts like throwing fucking airstrikes in the middle of your team, and he actually kills all of us and then leaves.
Why?
Yeah, because he's a fucking dick. See, look, he called in a nuclear strike, killed our team. I'm like stuck on the other side of this little canyon, so we didn't automatically fail the mission, but yeah, he was a little fucking prick. But because of that, like, even just you guys trying to work together can be extremely hectic, because whenever you have like a point that you need to like defend, one of the popular tools to use for that is a sentry turret. Those turrets don't have like friend or foe targeting. They just point to the nearest enemy and start firing.
That's cool.
And sometimes, like when you're fighting the Illuminate, they will teleport right into the middle of your group. So if you're like defending a point and you've got like perimeter turrets set up and you guys are all like hunkered in the middle, sometimes an enemy will just pop right in the middle of you, and all your turrets just go and just like mow down your whole
That's
team.
fucking cool.
It's fucked up, dude. It's crazy. Like,
This game seems so cool. The reason I've been hesitant to get it is because I think it's probably unreadable for viewers. Like, I don't think this would be fun to watch people play.
I mean,
It's fun to play, sure.
Yeah,
but
it is definitely really fun to play.
it just seems like
I
too
don't
much
know.
going on.
I don't know what it would be like to watch. When we were playing earlier, we checked Twitch and there wasn't anybody streaming Helldivers. I don't know why.
Probably because it's
It
not
does.
feed friendly.
It does get really hectic, which is kind of interesting. And I wouldn't understand why a game like, I don't know, like League of Legends would be fun to watch, but this
Well,
wouldn't. You know,
That
because these battles do kind of like swing pretty rapidly. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really kind of overlooked it at first. But I'm really into it. The only thing I would want more of, I think, is just like customization options. Like, they give you a few, but not like a whole lot. And I'm just a sucker for customization.
Yeah.
But all in all, like, it's a lot of fun. Like I've already played like 6 hours since I bought it like last night. You know, so I'm into it.
Oh, you bought this last night?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of games, well, I don't know where I was going with that. Nolan, you've been playing a game that you played a lot. You've played a lot already, but
A little bit.
you played. Well, just take it away.
Yeah. So, Crypt of the Necrodancer finally got its official release last week. Full product, no longer early access, which is 142 hours, I believe, I played in early access, which is in various forms of the game, going back to very, very early stages where it had like. The only thing that compared to how it looks now is just the overall like view. So many items and stuff. Even like because when I was playing it, I was actually in talks with the developers, and things were changing constantly. Like certain weapons would do certain things they're completely different now. Because one of the things the developers did was when we were in the alpha, they used us to kind of gauge how the game worked. And so they finally released, and so a lot of things are different. Like a lot of new items. Like one of the things that's big in this game is kind of digging. I mean, so you're in this pit and you have a shovel, and so when you have your shovel, you can only dig through dirt. But if you get like a titanium shovel or a pickaxe, you can dig through rock. It takes 2 hits though. If you get a titanium shovel, you can dig through rock in 1 and stuff like that. And so that can help you to get to areas more easily. But they added a new thing in the final version. It's called their blood weapons. And how they work, for example, like the blood shovel can dig any item. It can destroy anything, even the most what's the word I'm looking for? The strongest material, which is the gold that surrounds the shops. But every time you do it, you lose a health. So it's kind of the kind of risk. And so one of the things is, I mean, it's a roguelike, so the items you get are randomly generated. You never know what you're going to get. I was actually kind of lucky right here because I got the drum, which you can charge up. And that every time you hit it, it boosts your attack a little bit. And that's a very good item to get. There is a blood drum, which you can use, that you can charge up your weapons, but then take more damage. But yeah, so the final version of this game, they added finally added the fourth area, which is something I had never seen before. I don't get to it in this footage. I probably should have just gotten some footage of the fourth area. I'll leave it a mystery for people, because I don't have the footage. But the fourth area is very different. So the first three areas are very samey. They drop you in to like an area. The first one is kind of these caves. The second area is like a foresty type area, and the third area is hot and cold, which is what I was showing you.
Yeah, which was cool because there was like metal.
Yeah, so the hot and cold area is split into two sections. When you're in the cold area, it's kind of like more of like a jazzy electronic music, and then when you go into the hot area, the fire area, it goes metal. The music.
It was cool. It was how it would like transition.
Yeah,
it was really
it slowly fades out as the other one fades in. When you're in that middle zone, it's kind of a little bit of both. That's really cool.
I can dig it.
Yeah, but then the fourth area is like this really weird area. So there's no open, like you can see here, there's like open paths between rooms. There's none of that in the fourth area. There's just a bunch of rooms that are blocked off, and you have to dig through the walls to enter the new areas. And the new types of enemies are very different. Like there's a sword fighter guy that will parry every attack you do. And then he'll do a riposte, and so you have to dodge his riposte and then attack him after he's done that. And so I was watching Brad stream this the other day, and so Brad, you were having a little bit of difficulty, and I think one of the reasons is just because this game doesn't really have much of a tutorial.
I gathered. I just wasn't good at it.
Wait, did you play this in alpha at all?
No.
It
was my first time playing.
Yeah. And so. Well, Brad, like one of the good things they added is item descriptions. When you go up next to an item, it describes what the item does. It never really used to do that, which I guess I kind of liked because it was kind of almost what's that other?
Well, it's very roguelike.
Yeah, it's very roguelike that the item might change and you don't really know. But the items always do the same thing, and once you know what they do, that's what they do. Like that gi that I just picked up, it gives me, I do more damage, but I also take more damage. And then I picked up a blood spear, which will allow me to attack in two spaces away from me, and for every 10 kills I get, I gain back half a health, which is why blood weapons are usually pretty good, just because you can get health back if you get hit. But what was I going to say?
I mean, I hadn't played much of it.
So you hadn't played it.
It's easy to kind of get, like, there's a visual language that you kind of have to learn to process that. It can get pretty confusing, especially, when you get different weapon types, you have to...
And see, that's what I wanted to talk to you about when you were streaming, is weapon types play a big role. Like, there's certain weapons I don't like using. Like, the Cat of Nine Tails, I am horrible with that weapon. So the basic weapon's a dagger, attacks one space in front of you. Then you have, the long sword, which attacks 2 spaces in front of you. You have a broadsword, which attacks 3 spaces in front of you. So not 3 away, but like one in front to the left, one in front to the right. Like a wide
which
sweep.
just confused the hell out of me.
Yes, because it doesn't really explain it very well. And then you have something like a spear, which only hits 2 spaces in front of you, not the one in front of you. But then you have stuff like the Cat of Nine Tails, which attacks if you're on, it attacks to your left.
Is this an animal that you attack with?
Exactly. A Cat of Nine Tails is like a whip with nine lashes.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that thing.
Yeah. So it exists. It attacks both blocks to your left and right. Both blocks left and right, and one in front and one in front. So it hits all 5 spaces around you, just not behind you. But the problem is, it only hits one enemy. So if you have 4 enemies around you, you're only going to hit one of them. And so you have to know how the weapon, it goes from left to right. And that's how it attacks. And with the Cat of Nine Tails, every time you attack, you keep moving. So if I attack and there's an enemy to my left, I'll hit it, but I'll keep going in the direction I was facing.
That's confusing.
It is. Which is opposite of the flail. The flail will attack all 5 of those spaces at the same time, but you don't move. But it hits and it knocks them back.
Don't worry, Brad. Once you've played it for 142 more hours, you'll have it.
Well, I mean, that's like any roguelike, which is why I wasn't getting like bummed out or anything that I was struggling. I mean, that's just the nature of this type of game.
I learned by doing.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that with a little bit of help, you can actually make the game a lot more easy if you know certain things. And the only reason I know a lot of the things I know is one from playing it, but B, when I played it, I was in a lot of talks with the developers and other members of the community because I was playing it when they were doing kind of like a competition to kind of get the game out there, and so I was in a lot of talks with community members. Oh, if you try this and you do this, like gold weapons originally in the game, all they would do is the enemy would drop a little more gold.
Yeah.
But now in this final version, they drop gold, but every time you pick up gold, so the turn after you pick up gold, your gold weapon does 1 more damage. So it's a really cool effect that it's kind of empowered by the gold, so you can kind of work the strategy around, I'm going to step on this piece of gold, like I'm not going to pick up this gold, I'm going to wait till the enemy comes closer, then I'm going to grab the gold and then attack, because I'll do more damage.
It only lasts for 1 beat.
Only lasts for 1 beat.
Okay.
And so
I really like the idea of the chess boss.
Yeah, there's a lot of boss. So there's the chess boss, which is literally just all the chess pieces move like they normally do, which will be very confusing your first few times playing it, especially with like the rook. Like the rook got me so many times early on in the game just because it has its L-shaped attack. But it's you got to learn. But then you have
some knight. Rooks are straight lines.
Oh yeah, I had them mixed up. Yeah. Rook is straight, knight. Yeah, thank you. But thankfully, the rook does not move as many spaces as it can. It just moves 1. But then you have like King Konga, which is the beat. The song has a rest. It goes da rest, and so if you move during that rest, King Konga will start coming after you.
It's like musical chairs,
kind of
the opposite.
So there's 2 conga lines in the boss room, and if you move out of turn, if you mess up the conga line, King Konga will get off his throne. If you don't, and you're able to eliminate both conga lines, then he'll come and do his attack. But if you attack him before you've eliminated
get off his throne to deliver a swift justice,
you won't do any damage. And there's heavy metal, which you also saw me playing the other day. It's a very fast-paced boss. The music is, I think, almost twice as fast as some of the other music, and he'll summon like skeletons to attack you. And so he's very dangerous. And then they add the newest one they added was. Crap, I forget the name of it now.
Has the music changed much, or is it...
slightly. There's been some slight alterations, but overall...
I heard they added a new soundtrack.
Yeah, they did. It is a newer soundtrack. Like I said, most of the music is the same. But the big difference is they've added new characters. That's where the difference lies. And some of the other characters have their own versions of the soundtrack.
I see.
So there's... this is Cadence. There is Aria. Who has only 1 heart, like 1 hit and you're dead. That's like hardcore mode. There's the Bard, which the song like only progresses when he moves. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But they've added a lot of new characters. Like they've added her like kind of like father figure, or maybe her actual dad character, and he has infinite bombs and he can kick the bombs almost all a Bomberman.
Nice.
Yeah, they've added a lot of new stuff since what it was originally at. Most of the time when I originally played this, all I was doing was just Cadence. And actually, if y'all can't tell, this Cadence looks a little bit different than the other Cadences. She actually has a 4P on her. And you can see she's yellow and blue.
Does she really?
Yeah, it's a 4-player Cadence.
How did you do that?
Oh, because you can. It's a fucking rogue like indie game. You can customize the sprites. They let you change whatever you want.
Sweet.
Oh. Yeah, and so I changed it from when I was broadcasting during the competition. I changed it to a 4-player Cadence. It's kind of hard to see from this far away, but if you zoom in, you can see that there's a visible 4P on her.
We should have got a bigger TV.
Yeah, so regret not getting that 60-inch now, aren't you?
But yeah, I mean, there's just once again, it's learning enemy movements. Like bats will move once every other turn. Red bats are going to be a real problem for beginners because they move once every turn in one of the cardinal directions randomly. They can be very frustrating for people early on. But yeah, like I'm still loving this game. I'm gonna play more.
You're gonna continue playing the shit out of this, aren't you?
Especially because I haven't played too much with the other characters.
You heard about that guy who's played over 2,000 hours and he's like, I won't be bested.
I'm not gonna play that much. But see, look, you can see all. No, I'm not gonna lay a bomb there. But what I did earlier was I killed the shopkeeper, and that's a strategy because when you kill him, he drops the crown of greed. And if you look on the top right, you can see my my gold count behind the 4P. It's actually going down with every step I take.
Oh, wow.
So I lose gold with every step, but every time I pick up a piece of gold, it's doubled. So it's kind of like a cost-benefit thing. You try and go through the levels as efficiently as possible.
You try and make travel the shortest distance between goals as possible.
Yes, but also trying to hit every enemy so you can get that extra gold. Because one of the like, I mean, you can win this game, but there's a leaderboard, and the gold is essentially your score at the end of the game. You want to have the most, which is why I was blowing up those shop walls, because every time you blow up a wall, it drops 10 gold. But since I have the Crown of Greed, it does. I get 20. But because I killed the shopkeeper, he's no longer in the game. I can't ever go to his shop and buy items and stuff like that.
Then why do you need gold?
Just for the score at the end. I kind of, that's the problem, is I got in this mindset when I was in that competition, because it was score based, that now I almost always go for the highest score as opposed to going for the best items and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite items in this game is the bow. It shoots 3 spaces in front of you, which is it's range, which is nice, because especially a lot of enemies, especially for beginners, getting close to them is dangerous, because you might like you were saying, Brad, the concept. It's just you have to move. You can't stop and what should I do here? What do I?
Which
you
is
have
stressful.
to be. Yes, it is. You have to be moving, otherwise you lose your combo. You have a combo going that will increase the amount of gold enemies drop, and so
it's like Speed, Brad.
Yeah,
It's like the movie Speed. You're Keanu Reeves.
I thought you meant
You're
the
on
drugs.
that bus.
Like the drug too.
Yeah. But there are other things, like there's ballet shoes in this game. When you get the ballet shoes, going off the beat won't get rid of your combo.
Oh, that's
There's a lot of items in this game, like roguelikes, that change the way the game works. There's lead shoes that when you have them, stepping on a trap won't set it off, or just stepping on ice, you won't slide on ice in the later levels. There's now shoes that spike shoes, certain that do damage. So when you walk up to an enemy, you'll damage them just because of these shoes, which is really helpful, because there's these wizards in this area. You've probably seen them. That if you get too close to them, they'll do an attack that pulls you towards them. But because you have those spike shoes on, I have the spike shoes on this run. You'll do damage to them, and then they've added a lot of items. Like I have those 2 charms on. One of them increases my luck, that better items will drop. One of them increases my defense, and so I mean it's a lot of just roguelike randomly fighting items that will make or break runs.
That sounds like a roguelike.
But I'm saying even more so than a lot of roguelikes. See, right there, I just picked up an obsidian rapier, which is a fucking amazing weapon. Because obsidian, anything in this game, is based off your combo. So if you have an obsidian weapon and your combo is 1, you do 1 damage. Combo's 2 damage, 3 damage. But a rapier, if you're hitting an enemy from 2 spaces away, it does double. It increases the damage even more. So they're really. I died right there because I wasn't paying attention.
What the fuck, Nolan?
Yeah, but because I have the gi on, so I take more damage, and I was kind of made a silly move.
I think we just hit the end of the footage.
Yeah, we did. But one of the other things, and what Jack the man just brought up, is you can have custom soundtracks in this game. You can load your MP3.
How does that work? Is that good?
Yeah, because
you can load your MP3, and it goes off the beat. Okay, every song has highs and lows when it analyzes it. That you can. I haven't done it too much. I did it once, but it was when they first implemented when I first played this game, that wasn't in the game yet. They hadn't implemented it yet. I played this game very early, but you can do that. I'm probably going to try it out sometime this week. The only reason I haven't is just because this music is so fucking good. I don't know why you'd use a custom soundtrack. I fucking love the music in this game.
Do it with some Pink Floyd, make it hard mode. Or some changing time signatures all the time.
Oh my god, Sandstorm. I should try it with Sandstorm. Maybe when I broadcast this week, I'll throw in some other. Well, the problem is a lot of that's copyrighted, so it's gonna get muted on Twitch. But yeah, it should be fun though.
That is the sad truth.
Yeah.
Hey, Crispy.
Yeah.
There's another game you've been playing a little bit this week.
I have been playing.
We've talked about it.
I'm surprised I'm not finished with this game. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I recorded some footage of this game, and I had not played it in a while.
Yeah.
So I was like, where the fuck am I going? And it was just 15 minutes of me running around with no enemies. So I did another video.
Yeah. So
how was that penguin fight?
First of all, we're talking about Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. I'm trying to set it up so you guys can introduce the game, and no one said the title of the game.
Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate is a really cool idea.
What is it?
Very poorly executed.
What is it?
It is a 2.5D quote-unquote Metroidvania based on Batman Arkham Origins. Takes place 2 months after the story in Arkham Origins. pretty familiar concept. All the supervillains are in Blackgate prison, and they break out and take over the prison, and Batman goes in to beat them up.
Beat them up.
Beat them up.
It's about as simple as it gets.
Yeah, there's 3 different like segments of the prison. Each one is being held by one of his arch nemesis. So
it kind of. This almost strikes me as like, hey, we want to put this game on a handheld, and it's a Batman game, but we kind of have very specific ideas of what we want to do with the universe and everything. So like, what can we give them that they could do that won't interfere too much with what we're doing?
It really kind of is.
And they just get this kind of like small corner of the universe.
I kind of feel like maybe they were more interested in pushing out Batman Assault on Arkham, that like animated movie they did, and they just wanted this to set that up. It's kind of lame actually. The game is, oh my god.
Okay. This is developed by Armature.
It's infuriating.
Armature is the studio that was formed by most of like the leads, like the lead designer, the lead artist, like the leads from Retro Studios that made the Metroid Prime games.
Yeah.
And these were the guys that were originally gonna reboot like Mega Man, like a big, huge Mega Man reboot, but instead they ended up making this handheld.
Holy crap! Escalo said this looks like Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Chronicles. I forgot about.
Well, hold on, it's not like
it is a handheld.
But let me say this: like, it was made not only for the Vita, but it's also made for the 3DS. This is a 3DS/Vita game made by the studio, or the studio. These minds that brought us Metroid Prime, which is a very, very ambitious game.
Yeah, that's some hacking right there.
So no, the hacking system's actually
I thought
cool.
hacking was pretty cool.
Hacking is the least of the problems with this game.
It's the level design is so weird,
dude. It's
talk
so
about it.
Fucking weird.
Try to follow this.
Like you kind of like. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, this is really deep. This is really it's a really intricate level design." The only fucking problem is I never know where the fuck I am or where the fuck I'm going. And the game kind of gives you like it'll kind of give you an objective and it'll mark it on your map, like where you're supposed to be going. But that map does fuck all to tell you like how you're actually going to go about getting there.
Yeah.
Because they take this 2.5D world. It's basically a 3D world that they kind of flattened and they put Batman on like a 2D plane.
Well,
and then
closely.
they give you a map that is in an isometric view, and it's just like I don't know which fucking doors go where. I don't know which floor I'm looking at because it's all smashed together. Like it is so fucking infuriating trying to move around and just like
you pretty much
figure out where the hell you are. Like, I've been playing this game for hours now, and I still have absolutely no sense of spatial continuity in the game world. Like, when I'm any location in this game, I have no idea how to get to any of the other locations that I've been or that I need to go to.
I hope I never have to go back because I couldn't get there if I wanted to.
Yeah, I have to, like, it literally takes me, like, minutes of just looking at the map, trying to figure out, like, okay, I think if I go through this door, it looks like there's a little dotted line that connects to this part of the map. Like, it is, like, maybe I'm fucking stupid.
Okay, the map is bad.
It is so confusing.
The map is bad.
Yeah.
But it's because this is way too ambitious of a level design. This is easily the most complex and intricately designed side-scrolling game world I've ever seen. Like, as soon as I get done here, dying a couple times, you're gonna see me go into like the background, but it's not even the background; it's the world.
There's a lot of times where like he'll turn on a 90-degree like axis, and then the whole world turns, and then you're like it just confuses the whole fucking issue. Like it feels like, oh my god, you got killed in the grate. Yeah. It feels like they had some really cool ideas about how they wanted to build this world and how they wanted to build this game, but they just didn't have enough time to do it. Like the game itself
also
is
limitations
not,
of it being on handheld.
Yeah,
exactly.
the game itself is not very well fleshed out for for the cool ideas that are inspiring it. From what I understand, the game is only like 6 hours long.
How are you still playing
and
it,
I've
then?
played like 5 hours, I think. So I'm about to finish it up. I'm kind of just I'm kind of just tempted just to finish it on my own, like over the next like day or so, and then just move on to Arkham Asylum for the feed.
How do you map this?
What
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Watch.
like, how the
No,
fuck-
just keep watching. Like, how do you map this?
And
And,
then
watch what I do. I go back above where I was.
Yeah, and you couldn't just shoot up from where he
You had to
was.
go back
You
to
had to
go
go
up.
back and then come out. And that elevator. Oh yeah, there's, in this section, this is the penguin section. There's all these like penguin
things.
bombs that if you don't catch them, they fall and hurt you. And that elevator too also goes down to another area. Like it's so fucked. There are like, especially early on in this game, there are like cool moments that you're just like, holy fuck, like that. It kind of touched on something magical. Like I kind of really got a kick out of the Solomon Grundy boss fight, where you're basically just in this hallway and he's charging you back and forth, and you have to like use your gadgets in a certain combination of way to basically do a mousetrap on him. Like you have to wait until he's charging, blow up a bomb to ignite this gas vent that'll like throw him off. You have to blow up another bomb to break an electrical cable that'll like fly down and like hit some water. Just as he's like flailing from the first explosion, he touches the wire and it like electrocutes him. Like it's kind of cool, but it never really gets to any sort of like meaningful depth. You know what I mean? And the other boss fights after that are all fucking jokes. They're either these like really simplified but like clunky sneak missions where you have to like distract somebody, sneak up behind them, and then like take them out, and you do that like 1 or 2 times. In fact, the Black Mask fight, you have to sneak up on him once and the fight's over. It's all about just like throwing batarangs to hit alarms to make him look the other direction and sneak under him, and then wait until he walks over your grate and grab him. And then that's it. There's a Bronze Tiger boss fight, which is literally just like a quick time event.
Bronze
you wait,
Tiger, huh?
Yeah, you wait. Yeah, if you've ever watched Arrow, you know Bronze Tiger.
I thought they made that shit up.
It's a cage man. No, he's a guy. He's a person. He's not very
Trust me,
interesting.
they
but
don't
he's a
ever
person.
have to make anything up.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah. They've got a deep well to pull from. Look at this fucking map. It's so fucking weird. And they're like, oh, go over here, but they don't even connect the area that you're supposed to go to the rest of the map that you've explored. So you have no idea like where you're supposed to be in areas that you've already been to get to new areas.
It's Metroid Prime.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
They tried to make a Metroid Prime game for a
it does
handheld.
kind of look
They
like
really
Metroid
did,
Prime.
but they didn't have enough time to do it properly, and it's a huge shame.
Like, how
because
do you
the
map
concept
this?
of Batman
what is
like in an
going on
enclosed
with that?
environment is really cool. And for as ambitious as the idea behind the map was, I really would have preferred just a traditional Metroidvania map where it's just a grid and I can see exactly where I've been, exactly where I haven't been, and I can see exactly how everything connects, you know? Like Shadow Complex. The other thing that's really fucking weird about this game too is the combat is super simplified compared to other Arkham games. Because
has to
it
be,
really
doesn't
doesn't matter. Exactly. Because it doesn't matter. But enemy placement doesn't work like most Metroidvanias I've played, where like they're kind of just populated in the world, like they'll respawn. Like think about like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Like even as much as that as I played, I got the sense that
772.
you know the castle is kind of populated by villains or enemies or whatever, and you'll kind of move into a new area. What?
No, I'm rolling eyes at Nolan. He's like,
Okay.
it's 772.
Okay. You know, like the enemies kind of like they move around, they respawn. Like
Yeah.
you're constantly having to fight. In this
They
game,
need
fighting
the enemies to respawn.
Every single enemy encounter is meticulously planned. It's like, oh, I walked into a room for the first time. There's a group of enemies I need to beat up, and that's not interesting because the combat isn't interesting because it's a boiled down version of the combat from Origins, which was already not that great compared to the rest of the series.
Do you know what's really
and then
weird?
they add these fucking like silent predator missions. There have been 2 so far in this whole game that actually like take advantage. Like I don't know if you saw the earlier ones where they actually put you in a 3D environment where you can move around 360 degrees in this world and take out bad guys like you would in a regular Arkham game. But they're super fucking easy, and there's only one thing to do every time. It's just wait for them to walk by your gargoyle and snare them. And it's super easy to trick them. They all have vision cones that are really short, so you can see exactly what they can see. You can hide just out of their
They all have vision
range.
problems.
Yeah. It's terrible. Like, those segments only exist just to be like, see? It is an Arkham game. We do
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And then those never come back. Instead, you get these 2D sneaking missions later on that are like boss fights, like that fucking penguin fight, where it's just like, stay away from his invincible thugs who will kill you on sight. and it's impossible to do. Like, it's not impossible, but it's super fucking frustrating. I did it like 10 times, and it was the worst thing I've ever played. And then I did it the 11th time, and it was like incredibly easy out of nowhere. I don't understand this game. It's like there's no consistency with it.
But here's the crazy thing. If you went to a Western handheld developer and said, hey, make an Arkham game for a 3DS.
That's so fucking weird.
Like it's amazing how they're like, okay, well, we can get it all in there. Like, we can put the combat system in a side scroller, and it's weird because it kind of doesn't work. I mean, when a knife guy comes up and you got to like cape him, but like a regular dude walked in front of him because it's a side scroller. Like, you can't hit...
You're not hitting that other guy.
You can't hit that other guy because he's behind the guy in front of you. Yeah. You can only hit the people closest to you. It's super annoying
because then you got to take care of that weaker guy first while the guy behind him is, like, stabbing you.
This is so frustrating, though. But, like, imagine if...
Of all the gadgets, too, that you get in the other game, you get 4 in this one. Yeah. You get 4 gadgets. You start with one of them. It's the Batarang. And then you upgrade it to an electrical Batarang later.
Is that 2?
Huh?
Does that
no, it just turns your Batarang into the electric Batarang.
I was like, please tell me that's not 2 of them.
And then there are 3 different encryption algorithms that you need to open up new doors. So it has that kind of Metroidvania thing where it's like, I have to go over here to get this item to unlock this area, you know? But you don't really organically find these gates and make progression by just exploring the area. You go exactly where the game wants you to go because there's literally nowhere else for you to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's attempting very hard to mimic a Metroidvania, and it's not.
That's lame, dude.
But it's these guys that made Metroid Prime that are doing their best to make an Arkham game into a Metroid game, and like that's where the struggle is. They needed to make some concessions, but these are very ambitious people. I consider Metroid Prime to be one of the most ambitious and successful games I've ever seen.
If they didn't have the release schedule that they had to work with, if they didn't have like the budgetary problems, maybe even the fact that it's a Batman game put a lot of restrictions on it. If they didn't have that and they made it more Metroidvania, less Batman Arkham, but it was still a Batman game, this probably could have been like one of my favorite games of all time.
This is really frustrating because what I see out of this is like an insane amount of potential, which makes sense.
Yeah,
knowing who these people are. And it frustrates me because it didn't quite come together. But if these guys got, like a proper budget to make the game they wanted to make on a console, it shows you that they still have the talent to do crazy shit. Because I have never seen a handheld game that tried to come even close to doing some of the things that they're doing here. They fall on their face on a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like, it's shocking how Arkham this game is, even though it was designed to work on a 3DS. It's insane.
It really is.
I can't stress enough like how much this is like a brilliant failure, and how like we should absolutely not underestimate Armature because this game is kind of fucked.
It's kind of like when the dude who invented the Gatling gun invented the Gatling gun. And people were like, that's actually kind of impressive. These are cool ideas, but this is horrible. Why did you make this?
Sure, that kind of worked.
That was awesome.
Except the Gatling gun actually worked like it was designed to, so I don't know.
That was fantastic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use that as a stopping point for this second. We got to take a break, guys.
Oh my god, I have to take a break so hard.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back, and I'm gonna finish my beer during the break.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about sad things. I guess. Do we have to?
Yeah, we should.
I really don't want to. Okay.
Too bad.
I talked about Phantom Dust, Nick. You got to talk about Silent Hill.
This is so much.
Okay. Is this break? Are we broken?
Okay, it's kind of the same. Yeah, we're breaking.
Okay.
We'll be back in a second, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. I don't. It sucks because I brought beer for this conversation.
We already drank the beer.
But we already drank the beer.
Need a couple more.
Maybe I should have gotten a 12-pack.
Or a keg.
But I had to drive home, so I was like, maybe a 12-pack is not the greatest idea. It's funny, I was actually drinking heavily. Crispy was as well. Drinking heavily when this happened.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna? Is we just starting with this?
Y'all were drinking heavily. What was the context?
I think
at a party.
Yeah,
We
they
were at a party.
They were at a party. I think we can start with this. I think it's one of the biggest news pieces this week. So I don't see a problem starting.
Guys,
with this.
It is by far, yeah.
What in the fuck?
I think it essentially boils down to Konami just doesn't care anymore.
No. Let's be honest. This is gonna tie into Brad's news topic because.
Yeah.
Well, this is all one news topic.
Well, okay, so that overlay you're seeing is actually for Brad's news topic. My bad.
Well, let's open with Konami.
Let's start more general. Let's start more broad and talk about Konami in general.
Konami has been on record of saying they don't really care about games anymore because
That's not where they make most of their money.
they don't make most of their money.
They make 99% of their revenue, I think, from pachinko machines.
Well, they have pachinko casinos, and they have like health fitness clubs and stuff, and that's where they make profit.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Video games has always been more of just a thing that they do.
Well, these days, yeah.
Oh my god. So does no? Go ahead.
No. I mean,
I was just gonna say, does this mean that there's no hope for any more Silent Hill? There's no hope.
No,
for
not
that's
necessarily.
not the case.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at what happened with,
I think so.
Well, the thing is, if you look at what happened with,
Sega?
No, I was going to say
THQ. I don't know.
THQ.
Okay,
The
so
last thing they did before they left the business essentially was sell
sold
off all
off
of
their
their
IPs.
but
properties.
here's the thing: THQ shut down. Konami's probably not going to.
Correct. They're not. They're going to keep being a company.
But so they did voluntarily delist
Correct. Off the New York Stock Exchange.
from the New York Stock Exchange, which I was trying to look around for info as to like really the ramifications of that. What does that mean
So they're
about the
no
future of the
longer
company?
a publicly traded company.
Does that mean they're trying to sell, or they want to limit?
It just means they're no longer publicly traded, which means none of us can go and buy stock in Konami.
I know
Which is-
that.
the timing is
but like,
hilarious.
why does someone do that? Is it so they don't have a
So they can't watch
board
their
of executives?
So they can't watch their stocks plummet after they do
so
something like this.
That affects their price, what their company is worth.
Yeah.
When they're privately traded, that doesn't show up, and so it affects what their company is worth in a different way than if they were publicly traded.
Okay. So
They don't get like evaluated the same way.
So it's because of all this bad news that they're like, well,
Yeah, no, that's the reason they.
What confuses me and what upsets me the most, and what I'm sure upsets most people the most, is that like the timing on this seems really strange because they have potentially one of their biggest releases ever coming out in September. They just announced a game. They just announced Silent Hill like months ago, which was poised to be like the biggest thing to happen to that franchise ever.
Yeah.
And like they seem like they were in a position to like do big things. Like they had big plans.
It's not that they announced it for a great thing for a franchise. They announced it in a way that no game has ever been announced before.
They fucking changed the industry when they did that.
It was a unique way to do it. No one's ever done it before. No one will probably ever replicate it the same way they did it. I keep saying Konami. Konami didn't do shit. Kojima Productions did shit. But their company, overall put out this amazing concept.
here's the problem with Konami, is they have no more talent. No, what I'm saying is they don't have people at their company that can make quality games anymore. They have money, so they can still exist. Because of these other things. But
you're saying they don't have talented people because they just fired them.
No,
They fired one or potentially fired one, and then everybody left with
people
them.
have been leaving for years.
I don't think Kojima was fired. I'm pretty sure what happened was.
There's reports
rumors
suggesting
I don't know.
he was fired.
Why was he fired? My opinion is, since Metal Gear, Kojima has not wanted to make a Metal Gear Gear game. Since the first Metal Gear, Kojima's wanted to do something else. But Konami's like, honestly, that's our only good video game series. Keep making it.
Well, I mean, apparently a couple of people have been saying from an unconfirmed source that there was actually some kind of issue between Konami's CEO and Kojima personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they had some kind of beef that this kind of spilled over into business.
Kojima fucked his wife.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Or vice versa, I don't know.
She was like, "Oh, big boss."
Well, I mean,
But my opinions are
Call me naked.
they're not substantiated. They're not. What am I trying to say? They're not. 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 Metal Gear Solid is the only game that's ever made them any money, and it's been their biggest franchise.
Sure, I mean they've had.
Well, their soccer games have not been doing well for a while.
Yeah,
their soccer games have been doing shit.
Honestly, the
but
soccer
it
thing
used
is
to be super profitable.
It did.
The Pro Evolution Soccer thing is actually the most telling about this whole thing because they have not announced a Pro Evolution Soccer game for this year at all.
Yeah.
And when Konami doesn't announce a Pro Evolution Soccer game, something's wrong.
Well, the last couple kind of eked out too. Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone who plays soccer plays FIFA.
So
Yeah, exactly.
This is kind of, I feel like this is kind of analogous to Sega, which Sega is a company that still exists because they do okay in the mobile market and elsewhere, I believe, outside of games a little bit as well. But they don't have any talent. So they occasionally make a Sonic game, and they're terrible because at this point they just started farming them out because they don't have it. Sonic Team can't make good games anymore, so they're gonna, give chump change to some crappy studio to make a crappy Sonic game because they don't want to spend a lot of money on one of these big games anymore because they don't need to, because this is not what makes them money. It's fucking mobile games. So when you have this mindset of well, this thing that's really cheap makes us so much more money, why are we going to take any chances? Then what you have is a studio that has this insane legacy of like quality IP that they just do nothing with, which is why ultimately I would rather Konami go down in flames or be purchased than to exist like Sega does.
I agree.
Because that's just a waste of fucking quality IP. At least we're gonna get another Saints Row game because that got sold. It's like hope, like there's Homeworld games coming out because that got sold. If Konami keeps existing, which they probably will, and they don't sell off their game business, then like we're all fucked. And this Silent Hills thing is the first sign of it, because I mean,
what's the most disturbing about it is by far, I think, the timing of it, because like you just said, like they are obviously in a position where it would kind of make sense for them to just get out of the business. All of their franchises seem to be dwindling. They're not spending a lot of money on games in general.
Well, they also just lost their fucking best game developer
for whatever reason, which we don't know.
Other people from that studio,
but at the same time, like you can't. First of all, it seems there's two things. It is disgusting to see a studio publicly removing someone's name from their fucking artwork.
Yeah.
Kojima created Metal Gear Solid. He poured his fucking heart and soul into Metal Gear Solid 5, and they are just removing his name from it as if he doesn't fucking exist. The fucking trashiest thing about this whole thing was when their announcement of the cancellation of Silent Hills was the Silent Hill project that was being worked on by Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus. Has been canceled.
Like featuring Norman Reedus.
Didn't even mention Kojima.
Yeah.
It's like they're somehow... They think somehow if they just don't mention his name, he doesn't exist.
That's like Japanese business.
Yeah,
you don't talk about it.
It's Japanese business.
You don't talk about it.
It's disgusting.
Japanese social order is much different than it is over here. Yes, it's a very different thing. So I understand them not mentioning it. Yeah,
but like to remove his name entirely from the project, like maybe I can like a PR announcement, a press release, whatever. That's one thing. Sure. I can see that. But like they're literally going through the trouble of removing his name from promotional artwork for the game that he fucking made.
I mean, we've seen this before. I mean, when you have someone at a company who is like the champion of a game or the visionary of a game that leaves, all of a sudden, it becomes not a priority anymore.
Yeah.
And this was on a big scale. But remember when Keiji Inafune left Capcom?
That's what I was
he was
gonna
working on multiple Mega Man projects that as soon as he left, Capcom was like, well, fuck this.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's rumors that the whole reason Phantom Dust got canceled is because that guy that worked for Microsoft that was championing this thing left. So Microsoft's like, well, why would we waste any more money on this? Because no one here is fighting for it, so who cares?
It's like one guy's pet project, and he's gone.
Why are you going to put his name on
The thing is, PT was a big deal.
Yeah.
They are removing PT from... It's gone, right?
Yeah.
As of today?
No, the 30th.
29th.
29th
Which is tomorrow.
They're removing
tomorrow.
PT from the store.
Yeah.
Like, that built a lot
Well, you know
of hype.
why? Because at the end of the fucking game, it promotes a
You're
game
right,
that's
so
not going to
lop
exist.
that off. The thing is, that was a big deal for Sony.
Yeah.
You know, to have this exclusive hype building thing exclusive to the PS4. We never even knew if the Silent Hill thing was only going to come to PlayStation 4, but we assumed it did because that was the only thing that had this PT thing. And now it's gone.
Dude, this is
such a fucking shame. I mean, I'm not even a fan. You guys know me. I don't really care for horror games. I've never been a Silent Hill fan, but I was excited about Silent Hills. I went and downloaded PT last night just because I don't want to miss out on it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
have it.
Or you just want to be able to sell your PS4.
I'm in this position. I'm in this weird position where I'm going through the same thing Brad went through, but kind of different. Because Brad watched one of his favorite franchises of all time, which is also a Konami game, get hand off to a Western studio that didn't do very good things with it. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time that was literally the fucking dream team. Fucking Guillermo del Toro, Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, who is a recognizable, well-liked face in the fucking film industry. Like, coming together for, like, this dream project. Like, it's as if, like, Castlevania was like, we're gonna come together, we're gonna make this perfect Castlevania game with all of this talent that you recognize, that you know and you appreciate, and they gave you a playable chunk of something, of just potential for it, and then just said, oh, never mind. Like, that's fucking PR fucking suicide.
I mean, it sucks. Well, hey, that's why they delisted.
Yep.
It sucks, but, you know, I mean, I feel like this stuff...
They knew what the fuck was going to happen to their stock the moment they did this. So, like, let's just delist.
This stuff happens.
But if they're getting out of games anyways, like, what the fuck do they care?
They're going to be bigger dicks about it. I can see they're going to be bigger dicks about it too. They're going to close down their gaming division or whatever, and they're just going to be like, oh, but we're not going to sell our IP. We're going to hang on to it.
That's what I'm worried about. Is the fact that they don't need the money, so why sell it? Why sell it to someone else, and then Kojima goes there, starts making money for this other company? Because why wouldn't he? I mean, I know he wants to work on other games, but there's still that potential that if he gets to do what he wants,
they're going to be fucking dicks about it.
They might.
Because it's like, what's worse than you not making money on your IP? Somebody else making that money.
Yeah. I will say this.
But if they sell the IP, they've made money from it.
I will say this. I'm glad that Konami has at least came out and had the balls to say it was canceled, because there is a lot of publishers out there who will deny it, even though they know it's true, who will just put it off and hope people forget about it. Where the fuck is Beyond Good and Evil 2? You really think that there's some team somewhere working on that game? No. Ubisoft just doesn't have the balls to say, you know what?
Well, that was never officially announced.
It absolutely was.
It might not be an issue of
there is a trailer at a press conference.
Oh yeah, I guess there was.
That game was absolutely announced.
It might be less of an issue of balls and more an issue of, like, we're in April, so what is Japanese financial year? When does that end? Like, they got to the end of their quarter and they're not really trying to save face or anything anymore, and they're just like, okay, fuck it.
Hey Nick, you know what I would also be afraid of?
What ruin my week, Brad? Go ahead.
Like, I'm worried we might not see Mirror's Edge this year at E3. Because all the chaos bullshit that DICE has been going through for the past few years with the Battlefield franchise, and now, like, Battlefront's such a huge deal because Star Wars is coming back. I mean, what executive at EA is pushing for Mirror's Edge?
Hey, you know what? I wasn't expecting that game anytime soon.
Plus, they gave themselves a bit of an easy out when they were like releasing when it's ready.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, Silent Hills for me up here. Mirror's Edge way down here.
Well, now Silent Hills is gone, so Mirror's Edge, you should have something to cling to.
How much do you think the Metal Gear Solid IP would sell for?
I have no idea. I couldn't even begin to guess.
Metal Gear?
Yeah.
I mean, it would sell for a pretty
That'd be an insane amount of money.
The thing is, there is money to be made for Konami by selling these properties. Yeah. It's not like we're just going to give someone a property and watch them make money from it. Be like, you want to make money from our property? You have to give us a lot of money.
That's not necessarily true, especially if there's a lot of, like, sort of residual items associated with that property that they could still be making money off of. Like, people are still out there buying Metal Gear t-shirts, and people are still out there buying Metal Gear action figures. They're still making money.
Not just that.
So why sell that off in one lump sum when they can just keep trickling in a little bit of, like, residuals from it?
And not just that, but this is a franchise that might as well not even exist without its visionary, right?
Exactly.
Like how much how valuable is that franchise when you don't have Kojima? Like
this is for Chris Davis.
How valuable is like Castlevania when no one knows how to make a fucking Castlevania game anymore? Yeah. No one's ever done it right in 3D. How valuable is fucking Contra anymore? Because what the fuck do you do with Contra?
Yeah,
it's this classic franchise that Konami hasn't touched in over a decade.
You know what? You know what, Chris Davis? I hope Bethesda decides to cancel Doom after you've seen it. This glorious, beautiful demo played at your QuakeCon, your precious QuakeCon. I hope it's canceled. I hope they just decide to say fuck it.
Don't even get me started about Chris Davis and Doom. This motherfucker. He was like, I've never played Doom 2 before. So he's playing brutal Doom 2 on God mode and fawning over the brutality of the animations when you know what? Whatever.
We're not going down this path.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
In bigger news,
dude, I will never move on. This is beyond.
In bigger, far more important news, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was announced.
I will throw my phone at your head.
Dude, they didn't even change the logo. It's the exact same logo from 2. They just added another little hash mark.
That Black Ops 3 trailer just did not.
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it.
I don't really care about it.
I saw the poster you get for pre-ordering, and I had no idea it was Call of Duty because it's like, the cursed will be something or other. And it doesn't look like Call of Duty at all.
That trailer just did not blow my skirt up. Not that I was expecting fucking Call of Duty to do that anyways, but it looked like a step backwards from last year, to be honest.
Also, fuck you, Paint It Black belongs to Twisted Metal Black.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Wait, what?
They used Painted Black in the trailer for Black Ops 3, and that was last time that was used in a trailer was Twisted Metal Black, and that was an awesome trailer.
Well, that's not just used in the trailer; that's in the actual game.
Hey, that's a good get. That's an awesome song.
Yeah, but it belongs to Twisted Metal Black. I'll even agree with that.
I guess they can pay for whatever the fuck they want because they're Call of Duty.
So I
want to just drop the mic and walk out, guys.
Another news,
I'm done. I think I'm done with video games.
We don't need to ruin our equipment anymore.
What about Soma? You know, stick around, Nick. I'm just saying, there's games.
In other news, gamers being mad at game companies.
It's just been the worst week ever.
Yeah, Steam workshops, specifically for Skyrim, started giving people the ability to sell their mods. And the big blow up occurred.
What the hell happened?
Though the big issue is one person was selling his mod of like a fishing game, but the thing was he was using someone else's mods in his game,
selling it.
So essentially, it boiled down to ownership and copyright, and so obviously when you sell through them, Bethesda gets a cut and Steam gets a cut, and now you're getting a cut for the content you're creating, but you're essentially stealing in a sense. Now that people have the ability to sell their mods and stuff like that, and it's just funny that it was up for I don't mean moderators, I mean game mods.
Wasn't it up for like a day?
Yeah, it was up for about a day, and then they took it down, and they're like, you know what? We got to rethink this before we start doing it.
We forgot that a lot of people are scamming assholes. 4 days.
It was up for 4 days, apparently. But yeah, it was. I knew it was up for a few days, but yeah, and so they did take it down, and they're working on it, and that's a very touchy subject, especially when it comes to people using other people's mods. Who gets a cut? Should the original person get a cut of that? It's kind of stuff like that. And
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
They put a lot of work into making these games better.
But the thing is, Davis pointed out that Valve should have been testing it on Source Engine games first. But don't they already sell the mods that are for Source Engine games, like Counter-Strike and Gary's mod?
Well, so that's different. Those are like standalone titles.
Gary's mod, you have to have Half-Life for like a lot of the assets.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing is just to get those assets to render, you have to have Source, Counter-Strike Source, I think. To get a lot, that's where a lot of those assets come from. And so that is one thing. Gary's mod often is on sale for like $2, but then Counter-Strike Source is like $20. Yeah. So if you want to get a lot of like the assets, but those are like standard. Like someone takes essentially like Valve's stuff, creates their own mod and sells that as a game. There's a game out there that someone's created a bunch of mods for. Someone takes those mods, puts them into a mod they make, and then sells that. So, like, someone in chat was mentioning that Bethesda gets 50% of the cut, and I think that's fine. Bethesda made the fucking game. The
mods wouldn't exist without the...
exactly.
There was a donation model before, and that seemed smart.
Was it 50? I thought it was like 30-70 or something.
I think like Steam still takes a cut as well.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah, but Bethesda gets 50%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Steam gets like 25.
I don't know, but anyway, and that's kind of like a touchy subject that's always been around, like DLC kind of. But this is, people in the PC community. It was always, you create a mod, it's free. You never paid for mods, you just downloaded them. There's people passionate about developing something for the game to improve on it. What's up?
You do pay for most community things, I think, in Team Fortress 2.
Well, that's a little different.
It's different. It's a little different, but yeah, I mean, it's really murky. Like it's very similar to other practices that we don't blink at, but it's just different. I don't know. It's fucking weird. It kind of looks like, I don't remember who it was. I think Bob said that it kind of looks like the fucking like Apple App Store, where you'll have a whole bunch of like legitimate apps, and then you'll just have people stealing from other people, cloning. Yeah. Like it's the fucking Wild West.
Fucking whatever. What is that? King.com.
King.com.
Yeah. Like all they do is rip off other people's games and sell them as their own and make huge fucking amounts of money. And so I mean I don't think that's going to be happening in the Steam community, but it's still a very gray, murky line right now.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to people selling their mods. I think that's a great... You spend time developing something that changes the way a game works and someone else likes that, you should be able to sell it to them.
Sure, at its core, PokeUp has the right idea. I mean, PokeUp is a good point. Like, at its base level, money just complicates shit.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
So it's, if you're gonna implement something like this, a lot of thought has to go into how it's executed, and it just seems like it was just like, by the way, this is happening, and it's like,
this kind of thing really seems like it was intended to support the people who are making like the really big ambitious mods that you read about for Skyrim, like the people who are making like fully voiced like new campaigns and shit like that. Not like the guy who was like, "Oh, I made a bikini mod for all the female characters."
I mean, think of like Witcher 2, the Combat Evolved mod, or one of the developers of the game retooled it and completely changed it. That's it. It completely makes the game
a lot of work.
Exactly, it makes the game a better game. But that was free. Like I didn't have to pay for that. No, like I think that's something that like $5 or something like that. Like I think that's fine. When that community, it's just that really murky area of essentially stealing from other people and selling it as your own product is kind of
so fucking.
Here's an important question: does anybody have any good news this week?
I've got something that I'm kind of excited about.
Is it a part of the $40 season pass?
No, that is the other side of that coin.
Sorry.
That double-sided.
That's
coin.
all included in the season pass?
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wait, I'm confused.
Arkham Knight.
Oh.
We'll get to
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Thanks
blow
for blowing my fucking load, Nick.
Finally fucking get to it. I didn't know what we're talking about.
I was building anticipation. Anyway, they just announced with their new Arkham Knight's new trailer that apparently Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman will all be playable, and apparently it's going to use some sort of Grand Theft Auto 5 style like seamless switching between them.
It's pretty cool.
So you can you can go through the whole cast of characters. Now in the press release they did,
Why would we not have heard about this?
I don't know. Maybe it's an ace they've been holding up their sleeve for a while, just to be one last little punch of surprise before the game comes out, because everyone was complaining.
Turns out they were actually hiding the royal
because people have always been complaining like, oh, it's just another Batman Arkham game. It looks like Batman Arkham. It just has prettier graphics, but maybe they're actually doing some new things. The press release that they announced this in said something about.
Hey, I did confirm Nightwing last year at E3.
You said, well, we knew Nightwing was going to be in the game.
Did we?
Yeah.
I thought this was the first time
Fuck.
No. But anyway.
We
Anyway, the fucking the press really said something about them being able to switch seamlessly in combat. Now, I don't know if that means that you're only going to be able to use these different characters when you're in like specific combat sequences, or if you're going to be able to do like in Grand Theft Auto, where at any point you can stop playing as Batman, they'll move you to another part of the city where another one of the characters is doing something different.
It would imply that each person has their own storylines and different stories.
You cut over to Robin and he's like, on
what
a
if they
scooter.
did start do kind of what they did in GTA 5, where it's like the other characters are doing different
Other
things,
things.
other
Yeah.
things in the story.
You switch
that'd be
over to
kinda
like
cool.
Catwoman and she's like stealing jewelry.
I think it's going to be more like Dead or Alive, where you're like comboing a dude, you hit a button, then
And they
Robin
jump
drops
in and
down.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
you're definitely going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you're definitely going to be able to switch between the different characters during combat. As far as what the scope of this outside of combat's going to be, we'll see. I hope it's something more like Grand Theft Auto 5. I hope they wouldn't evoke that
They also
as a big like bait and switch.
they also
but
confirmed Azrael in the trailer, right?
they did. They
Why is there
which
no-
I don't. Okay,
Why is there not co-op yet?
I don't know.
I don't think this is ever going to have co-op, especially. I don't know. I just don't like. It's the game's out in 2 months. I don't see it happening.
Oh no! I mean, I not
And this
not
is
in
the-
this game, but I'm saying like, why not?
I'm saying in Batman. This is supposedly the last Arkham game. Not this may be.
Yeah.
It certainly won't be the
Supposedly
last
it's
Batman game.
Well.
But this is like the end. This is like the coup de grace on the fucking Arkham series. I could see them completely rebooting Batman video game series going forward. In which case, sure, co-op would be a fine candidate. You know what I will say about that trailer though? It kind of I don't know what it is about the trailer, but it did not push all the right buttons for me. Like as far as like setup for that story is going, like I don't know if I have any interest in watching Batman fight an army of robots, which is what that looked like.
Well, you don't have to.
Batman's fighting robots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yes.
Arkham Knight controls like a legion. They're not robots, but he's got like drone tanks and like aerial drones.
I mean,
and
I
shit
will
like
say
that.
this. I've played the game, and the
Look,
Batmobile is sexy as fuck.
I get that I'm probably the only one who still cares about this game.
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. Like I'm fucking.
You're the one
all
that cares
gonna
the
play.
most.
I've been very fucking excited about this game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this one particular trailer for whatever reason, just like I remember watching Batman like Arkham trailers where like
that's
the
true,
setup for the story just got me like really
The
pumped.
hook of the trailer, I think, was in the announcement of like Nightwing and Robin, which all
Yeah.
the new character designs look fucking cool. I hope they've upgraded like the different kind of like attacks and abilities they all have. But
You
we'll
know,
see.
Robin looks kind of dumb. He looks a lot better.
Oh God, he does.
He looked a
looks
lot
stupid.
better in Arkham City, where he had the hood on or whatever. I don't know why.
He's still wearing the cape with the
He
hood.
actually looks a little bit like
Cole.
what's his face from Batman and Robin or Batman Forever.
Like a bro.
Oh, Chris
O'Donnell.
Chris
He
O'Donnell.
kind of looks like Chris
he
Like
O'Donnell.
a super beefy
No, he
Chris
doesn't.
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Go back and watch
And he's a
that
little
movie
too
again.
ripped. Like I've always kind of thought of Robin as a smaller.
Nick likes his Robin young and sleek and slender.
This isn't
his
like
young hairless
this
Robin.
isn't 10-year-old Dick Grayson. This is
This is
like
not 10-year-old
this
Dick
is
Grayson.
this is like adolescent young man Tim
Obviously,
Drake.
it's not Dick Grayson. If
No, I'm just saying like that's not
Okay.
the kind of
He
Robin.
looks a little like UFC Robin.
I'm just saying, like he didn't look.
You know, I mean, I haven't brought this up in the past,
Oh my god.
but I think I. Okay, never mind.
What?
okay, no, I think we should.
Hey, I'm still fucking excited for this game. I don't know why you're acting
I
like
am. I'm excited
I'm fucking
for it.
stoked. I'm ready for this game. I want it.
We don't have to have the conversation, but what were you gonna say?
Batman and Robin, they kiss each other.
Okay. Moving on.
So, yeah, let's move on from Batman. We are all excited about that. Did y'all see that that new trailer for Just Cause 3
I
that
have not
came out
watched
today?
it yet. Actually,
It looked really
So
fucking good.
colorful.
Yeah, it was pretty colorful.
There was no surprises though.
Well, no,
it just
there
looked
weren't
like a
surprises.
pretty
No,
Just
No,
Cause
there
2.
was a field of sunflowers. That's surprising.
You know what I was thinking about?
can you burn them?
What if in Just Cause 3, at some point, Rico goes up to a gas tank and he says, "Fuck it, I'm out," and he shoots?
And then you never got a phone call again.
What if it happens? What if it happens?
Dude, I'm calling it right now. This shit's happening.
You know what? I just hope that type of gas tank is still in the game, the one that shoots you straight up.
Yeah.
What if the What if it doesn't happen? But
When
then
the
you
achievement's
get the
"Fuck it, I'm
achievement
out"?
and it says "fuck it, I'm out," and you're just.
I don't know.
Like,
If I don't know if they'd make an achievement.
So you
They're
get
gonna
those
say the fuck
those
word.
vehicles that have like weapons on them. Did they do that in Just Cause 2?
Mm-mm.
Because that looked cool.
The
as
pre-order
shit.
vehicles with like that shoot stuff.
Yeah, like the weaponized vehicles.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool trailers, that Mad Max trailer.
You're gonna say that, and I will agree that trailer actually got me a lot more hyped for that game than I was before.
Dude.
The whole like rebuilding your car, and just this exploring this world, and fucking I don't know why I'm so fucking hyped about fucking picking up like pieces of fucking metal and taking them back to build my car. I think that's a great concept.
It looks really cool and it looks a lot of fun. It looks less like, I don't know, watching it I was getting the sense that it was less like, you know, like less Skyrim, Morrowind, like that kind of thing, more Shadow of the Mordor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I see that.
It looks like a cross between Fallout and Shadow of Mordor.
I fucking love Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, and it's gonna have that car, which means like
what's with the dude in the back of your car that randomly pops up?
He's
and shoots stuff? Your manslave.
I gotta say the name of the
Pretty
car,
much.
Mr. Holland's Opus or whatever. It sounds pretty stupid.
Magnum Opus.
Magnum Opus, bro.
Opus.
Manifest Destiny, whatever the
this
fuck.
Is kind of is this like WB's thing now, though, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna take like beloved like pop culture franchises and make open world action games based on them.
They've
been doing pretty good.
I don't hate that idea.
I don't hate that idea, and I'm excited about Mad Max. But
Guys,
like,
do you realize in the past
found
week my
their-
world has been flipped upside down?
Yeah.
Mad Max, which I saw at E3 like 2 or 3 years ago, which I was almost certainly sure that it was canceled, has come back from the dead right as Silent Hills is
They're
canceled.
both hitting this fall.
Yeah.
Just Cause and Mad Max hitting this fall. That's crazy.
Dude, first of all, Mad Max is completely screwed. It's coming out the same day as Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I'm picking it up.
But Mad Max is gonna have a lot of hype because of the movie, I think.
Sure, but is it gonna?
Definitely.
That is true.
I
It
just
doesn't
kind of
have a movie
hope that
tie-in to go
trying
with
to
it.
hit that window doesn't compromise the quality of
I mean, the thing is, we saw this game like 2 or 3 years ago, and it looked more or less like what that trailer showed. The trailer looks way more polished.
Yeah.
But like that is what we saw.
I'm
Essentially,
excited about the car stuff, but like I'm just weary looking at all the hand-to-hand wannabe Batman combat.
Yeah, there was quite
like,
a bit
where's
of
the innovation going to
That's
be
what I'm saying.
there?
That's what they're doing.
It looks like the same shit.
But I saw him like.
What if it has the
picking
Nemesis
up
system in
weapons
it?
and stuff? I mean, that could add
That would be
some sort of element to it.
Fucked. That would be cool.
It's such like overdone.
What
ground
if you
at
fight
this point.
Master Blaster?
What?
Oh, there's got to be some kind of reference to that in this
Right?
one, right?
who's
hope
Master
so.
Blaster?
He's from Beyond Thunderdome or Thunderdome.
Yeah.
or-
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
I've never
It's
seen
like
that.
it's like
You don't, have you never heard the term Master Blaster?
I mean, I've been to
first two.
Slitterbond
remember
before.
no
That's about
remember oh that one thing from Mortal Kombat that's two people. It's like the giant with the little girl.
Yeah,
on
little
top.
girl.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
basically
yeah,
like what
yeah.
Master Blaster was.
So in Thunderdome, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Have you heard that expression?
Yeah.
That's what that's from.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
the Thunderdome
that's
is 2
Thunderdome.
people enter, they fight to the death, 1 person leaves.
I'm gonna be honest, guys.
Mel
Remember
Gibson has to fight Master Blaster.
I'll be honest, guys.
Remember
I've
that
never seen Mad Max before.
Remember that line, "Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch."
Yeah. And
I never knew that was Mad Max.
it is. And then Master Blaster is a giant guy with a midget, like on a basket in his back.
A little person.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty sure back then they called them midgets.
He wants you to mute his microphone.
Oh my god! Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry, I have to.
But yeah, no, that's what that's all in reference to. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So that's what I was saying. I hope in this new Mad Max they make at least some sort of reference to Master Blaster.
Don't you worry, guys. I will fix that whole Mad Max movie problem that I have before the game or the new movie comes out. It's been on my list. I just haven't.
Well, I mean, there's more than one Mad Max movie, right?
There's 2, right?
No,
There's 3.
3. Road Warrior.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Road
And
Warrior,
Beyond
Hey, look.
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max.
All right. Well, there we go. I
Thunderdome.
just learned that
There's-
does not
yes.
look like the ride at Slitterbond.
There's Mad Max, Road Warrior,
Yeah.
and then Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, the
Are they all good?
the little guy is the master, and the big guy is the blaster.
Oh, I mean,
That's why it's Master Blaster.
okay. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. You can close that now, Chris. Thank you. Interesting.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Cool. I think it's time for the community.
Is it?
It's time for community. Oh, the
Guys.
community. What's wrong, Nick? Keep it together.
Dude, I can't. I've been fucking. I'm glad I'm going to the happiest place on earth for like 6 days because
Oh boy.
I was about to burn this fucking world. to the
I
ground.
hope you have a good time. Throw back a few because you seem like the kind of person who just stresses out on vacation.
Really?
You know? Yeah, like you gotta just Just let it ride.
All right. Hope everyone's ready for community because that's what time it is. Yay!
Yay!
Part of the show we talk about our community. So the first thing I'm going to do is list off 10 of our patrons. These are people
What are
who
we
have
at now?
supported us on Patreon. We're on 101.
Yeah, we're making progress.
Yep. So we're going to go through. So David O, Blake G, Dominic Y, Yan P, Wade C, Travis C, Rory R, Jack Claxton. I think that's how you say that.
I know that guy.
Alex D and Sam S.
We're almost to the end, aren't we?
Nope.
We're getting close.
We have 179.
Is that accurate?
Right?
No.
No. I'm sorry. I had that back.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misspoke.
You did.
We are getting close. In fact, next
you're
week,
a liar.
unless we get a bunch of new patrons in the next week, we should hit
We're about to catch up.
my catch up next week. So there we go. I got we were at 878.
Yeah.
I got them, superimposed.
So yes,
All right.
we are only $22 away from our next goal.
Everybody rally.
We would very much like to hit our next goal,
Come
so we
on.
can start planning out some new merch to start selling and
Come
shit.
on.
That should be fun. But I think more importantly, we need to catapult towards that following milestone so we can start doing these movie podcasts, because we had a lot of fun doing that Daredevil podcast.
We sure did.
And I know we're going to record a couple more probably before we hit that milestone, so we'll have a few to release once we do that. I'm assuming we'll probably do one for the Avengers.
Probably.
I'm going to watch that movie.
Guys, do you think I can convince my girlfriend to go see the Avengers in Disney World?
Probably shouldn't. Just because it seems like... I mean, I guess if you go when the park's closed...
I think they have a really good movie theater there, though.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's like a stone's throw from our resort.
Yeah.
Not really. You have to take a ferry, but...
Well, that's kind of fun. But I mean, tickets might be an issue. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Well,
I just want to go because I think they're going to show a full Star Wars trailer.
yeah, they are.
You think?
No, they're going to.
It's not going to be the same one?
No.
I think that was a
No,
teaser for whatever they're going to show.
The teaser that we saw was the teaser for the trailer that's going to be in Avengers.
Holy fuck.
Oh my God, Avengers comes out soon too.
Friday.
First.
What?
Friday. May
Friday.
1st.
So there's a new Star Wars trailer on
It's
Friday?
already
Well,
out.
technically, the movie already came out in Europe.
Guys, my
Or whatever,
fucking head's going to explode this weekend with all the Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
I'm okay with that.
Time for some questions from our patrons. Our first question this week comes from Brian B. He asks, what is a game that you strongly dislike, but has one thing you really enjoy about it? Example, I don't really like Chrono Cross. I don't think it sucked, but it definitely wasn't cut from the same cloth as Chrono Trigger. But one thing I loved was the music for the game.
That was
Nick,
good.
could you please at least consider playing Chrono Trigger?
I did respond to his question on the patron activity feed.
We didn't respond to it here.
I have tried playing Chrono Trigger before in the past.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, on the DS.
I bought it on the DS, and I am not opposed to trying it again. But I don't know.
So it's a game that you dislike, but there's something about it that you really like.
Oh god, game that I dislike. What do I dislike?
Wait, what's the question?
Is there a game that you dislike, but there's something about it that you really do appreciate? Despite
Batman Arkham.
Yeah, I was talking
Origins
about one
Blackgate.
earlier.
oh, I guess we did talk
That's
a
a-
great deal about one
That
of
would
them.
be a big one for me.
I like the ambition of the game,
Yeah.
of the level design.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think that Alien vs Predator game was pretty good. Was really good, but it was pretty cool to play as the alien and crawl over the ceilings and shit. Sorry, that's kind of a reach, but I just wish everything around it was better.
Yeah.
You know, I never got to say it when I was talking about Banjo Kazooie, but all those. You know what? I'll save it for 4Player. Sorry.
Cool. I can't really think of one. I've been trying to for a while. I'd rather not waste
We'll come
time.
back to it
Moving
if we
on.
think of anything.
B Killer asks, is there a game that you loved a while ago that has a lot of nostalgia or sentimental value that you just refuse to go back because you're afraid of how it might stand up to today's standards of games and thus ruin your happy memories of said game?
I
This is
can
where
already-
I said I was going to bring up Jet Force Gemini. Because I remember loving the fuck out of that game, but I know if I go back and play it, I'm going to fucking hate it.
I can already tell you, I already screwed myself on what I can tell you right now. If I hadn't gone back and played GoldenEye 64 again fairly recently, it would be in my top 10 games of all time.
Yeah.
But it is goddamn practically unplayable at this point.
Yeah.
It is rough as shit. But there is probably not a game in existence that I have played more hours-wise than GoldenEye 64.
There's a couple of like JRPGs that I played back in the day that I'm like, especially during the PlayStation era where I kind of played them all, that that I remember loving, but I'm a little afraid to go back and try. Like Lunar Silver Star Story Complete is a game that like I adore, and I still put on my top 20 games of all time, but I have not played it since I played it back in the day, and I'm afraid that if I pop back into it, I'll be like,
Also, one of the first things I ever did for this podcast was sit down with David and go back and play Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. And that pretty much ruined that game for me.
Yeah.
So, I can't think of any that I... Like, there's probably plenty that I could think of right now, but I've already done it to myself enough that I can name those off. Speaking of GoldenEye, I kind of wish that GoldenEye remake, whatever, was like a one-for-one remake.
Oh, yeah.
Because it plays way better, obviously.
Oh, of course.
But they took so many liberties with it that it's not the same.
It's a different game, yeah.
But I can't go back and play the original.
Crispy?
Sorry, Crispy.
Rogue Squadron. Because I loved Rogue Squadron, but I haven't played in forever. And I'm sure it's rough. I mean, we were arguing a little bit about it earlier, but...
Which one was on the GameCube? Was that Rogue Squadron?
That was the second one. That was...
2 and 3.
Yeah, it was
I only played
Rogue
2.
Leader and then Rebel Strike.
I played 2 on the GameCube. That was one of the first games I got for my GameCube.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
All right, next question. This one's from Piocht. Since you guys asked, here's a non-gaming related question this week.
Oh,
are there any films that you enjoy which are panned by critics or the general audience?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
but
so a film we like but is not generally accepted as being good. Which is a really tough one.
I apparently liked Man of Steel a lot more than most people.
That's true.
But as far as like even that movie's not like panned. It's just
it's one of those. It's one of those questions.
Divisive.
Yeah, that is.
God, that's hard. I kind of want to look back like to when I was younger. But
some of the movies you used to watch a lot.
I don't really recall what like the critical reception.
I have this tendency to, and Crispy knows this about me. I have this tendency to like
the
sequels.
No,
but I'm a big fan of sequels.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about it. I think maybe it's just the nature of returning to a character that I've already seen once and kind of seeing how they respond to like similar situations happening again. It's just something about that appeals to me more sometimes than watching the original. So like I tend to like a lot of sequels more than I like the original. I like Ghostbusters 2 more than I like the first one. And Crispy and I had a long conversation about this, and I love both those movies, but I've always kind of enjoyed the second one more. I don't know.
I got one. Growing up, I really liked Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, but that movie's not very good.
Yeah.
Really? I thought everyone loved that movie.
Yeah, they did.
It is. You know a movie I really liked growing up? Man of the House.
Hey, I like that movie.
Like that.
Dude,
with JTT.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When I was a kid, I used to think Tom Arnold's The Stupids was like the funniest thing in the world.
No, what was the other one? Tom Arnold with like the kids and they like skip school and what is that? What was it? And they drive around in like a minivan. Like crashing through like the mall or whatever.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The babies.
Something not babysitter. Like what is that? Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Is another one I liked when I was a kid. I know it's a different one.
Damn.
I don't know. Come back to it.
It's called Carpool.
Is it called Carpool?
I don't know.
It might
That's
be
what Charlie says.
Yeah, it's probably Carpool. All right.
So there was this movie I watched in the 80s that I don't know what I thought about it, but I thought I remember it being pretty cool. And I fell into a hole of watching a lot of clips from this movie, and it's really bad. It's called The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, fucking The Golden Child. Yeah.
I was watching clips from it because it has, Lord Tywin.
Yeah.
as the main villain.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the movie
with the dancing Pepsi can?
Yeah.
That movie is so bad.
It is.
It's so bad.
It is.
I did not think it was that bad.
Oh my
when I
god,
was
Jungle
younger.
to Jungle. Oh god.
Jungle to Jungle?
The Last Action Hero. Oh my
Hey,
god,
that
you
movie's
ever
still
watch
pretty
that?
good. That movie's
No,
still
there's a
pretty
lot
good.
of like I bet.
Jingle All the Way. I fucking love Jingle.
Jingle All the Way is still good.
So
It's
what
still
about
good.
some of these like cheesy action movies that I remember
Turbo
liking a lot when I
Man.
was younger? Like, so is True Lies is that?
I thought that was
True Lies is still good.
So the problem is, I think
True
like,
Lies is
I'm
good.
trying to think of movies that weren't.
I want to watch that now.
That a lot of people don't like. True Lies was pretty generally accepted.
That has
as being
a
good
that had
movie.
Eliza Dushku
It did.
as a young.
She was the daughter. Yes.
as a youngin'. Yeah.
That's creepy.
What?
What?
What did he just say?
I don't know. Anyway, next question from Miklopa.
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 4PP 1996 month last year was a lot of fun, specifically when everyone tried their best to act like it was really 1996.
Yeah, I had
during the
to struggle with
podcast
that.
and shared memories from when you were kids. Are you guys planning on doing something like this again this year?
Well, if
There's
we
still a lot of great games that were released during the end of the 90s.
Well, if we do, it'll be a surprise.
That is true. We wouldn't tell you if we were.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this: I also had a lot of fun with that month. I went back and played a few games that I hadn't played in a long time or never played, and that was pretty cool.
Here's a question.
That reminds me. I started playing what's that Star Wars game, Dark Forces.
Yeah. That game's
that was
good. That's a
pretty
good
cool.
game.
I mean, 1996 month is when I played Police Knots.
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah.
fucking loved that game. That was even those shooting scenes were great.
Do you know why Dark Forces was great? Because it was brutal and it was cool. Fucking.
Are you trolling Chris Davis right now?
Yes.
Do you remember Nick? Do you remember who published Police Knots?
Konami.
Yeah.
You son of a fucking. God, why would you open that wound?
All right, and our final question for the evening comes from Sunny H. If you could save $20 to $30 on a new game by pre-ordering it, would you?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't.
It essentially means
That kind of implies that
How would you save money by pre-ordering?
if there was a deal where pre-order this now, you get $20
The
off,
thing is
or when it comes out, you pay full price.
of course you
Is
would.
this a setup for a pitch?
Is
He's
he
gonna be
talking
like,
about-
first
well,
of all-
if I got a deal for you.
First of all, of course you would. Second of all, that kind of implies that everybody falls into the same category of like, I will never pre-order something, because obviously that's not the case.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate it. I do it way more frequently than you guys do, but that's just because I've always done that.
I still do it.
But like, we all do it
I-
occasionally.
yeah.
It's just like, but like if they gave you $20 off the game for pre-ordering it, everybody would do
Well,
it.
so that's one of the reasons I don't pre-order games is I don't think the pre-order bonuses are worth it most of the time, and I
True.
don't like reinforcing that mindset of, oh, you have to pre-order it. I really don't like
Yeah.
that. I used to pre-order games a lot on Amazon because they used to do a deal where they would give you $10 off your next pre-order. So I would pre-order a game, and the game I would get for $10 off, and it was kind of the cycle
Yeah.
where I'd always get $10 off.
Amazon does that occasionally.
They don't do it as much anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, but I've gotten like one or two.
I gotta be honest
coupons.
with you. Like, I just don't like going into a GameStop to like do that.
I still pre-order games, but I do most of my pre-ordering on Amazon nowadays.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
I get home from work and it's sitting in my mailbox. It's
You know what's shitty? You know what's shitty? You know what's really shitty?
Tell me, Brad.
Stuff that we take for granted probably because we're in a big city, but there are like towns like where there's only Walmart.
Yeah.
And to see like exclusive content to like GameStop and shit and Best Buy, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked in ways that we never think about.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of suck.
But
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Walmart gets a lot of that too.
no, but there is, a lot of stuff that you can only get
But what
it from
if your
GameStop.
only option is Walmart?
Like, what if you want a fucking Shulk figurine?
And Ed has a pretty good point. Amazon isn't technically even pre-ordering because they don't charge your card until they ship it, which is true.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's still the concept of that you're telling them I'm going to give you money for this game on this date.
Yeah.
Kind of a type deal.
Sure. But you always have up until that date to change your mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell, a lot of times a review will be out in time for you to find out that, hey, this is not great, and cancel it in time to, before it ever charges you or ships. So that's another reason why I like to do it through Amazon.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pre-ordering, but not really.
$40 season pass. Wow.
All right, moving on. Our subscriber of the month, because it's still April.
I feel so
is
bad.
Disruptor486 from Florida. His game's Betrayer.
I was
I'm going to be playing a little bit more of that on Thursday because I love you, Disruptor.
I'm sorry, Disruptor. I bought that game and I was all ready to fucking play it on Friday. Fucking couldn't do it.
The funniest thing is I go over to Nick's and I help him with this PC issue. Works fine for like an hour.
It crashed once.
It crashed once, and then I thought we fixed it. I left, and like 20 minutes after I left, Nick called me. He's like, it crashed.
You were using a new version?
No.
We tried.
But after he left is when I kind of narrowed it down. And I was like, why is this looking like it's trying to access XSplit?
Yeah.
Like OBS was trying to somehow interact.
There's some weird fucky issues going on.
So I completely removed XSplit. Still nothing.
I think you should probably just completely remove everything.
Yeah, I probably will.
Everything on your.
Although Brad seems to think it might have something to do with my webcam. Which
Webcam or version, always.
Let's not talk about
narrow
this right
down.
This is.
I know. I just feel bad. I was trying to play your game, Disruptor. I still will because I have the game. I bought the game, so I can always. You may not be subscriber of the month anymore when it gets to that.
But it doesn't happen when you record footage offline, right?
No, I've recorded all my Let's
play
Plays.
a little bit offline and upload it.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I gotta fix it regardless. I gotta broadcast.
Well, I mean, you could what's what I'm saying. You could broadcast it offline and then give me the file and I'll broadcast it.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right, finally, now it's time for Chat of the Week. Yay!
Everyone's favorite part of the show.
Where we pit two chatters against each other in an all-out brawl of how fast they can beat up Konami executives. All right, our first chatter this week is Daniel N. Have them guess the last name.
I'm going to go with
Nigel.
Faster.
Thornberry.
Newsom.
No.
No?
No. Like Dr. No.
Daniel, no.
Crispy was close enough. It's Nolner.
Yeah.
What?
Daniel Nolner.
Interesting.
Did he want to share that?
He said have them guess.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you if you're right or not.
He wants to know. He wants us to guess.
From Kincaid.
From Kincaid, West Virginia.
I'm just kidding. He is Chef R. Boy D in chat from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep. Racist. Shameful secret. I purchased GTA 5 when online went live and became consumed since everyone at my work was playing it as well. I would come home from work and go straight to the game, and my wife would keep bugging me for sex. So
back up.
So I would leave the headset on and go screw her.
Oh, God.
And I picked up the headset, and everyone's like, oh, my God, someone's having sex.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Wait.
That's a shameful secret.
I once left the feed on and browsed NeoGAF for like 20 minutes before I realized it.
It's kind of like the same thing.
Kind of like the
It's
same
like
thing.
that same time Chris Davis left the field. He took off his shirt.
Guys, that's like my worst fear.
Sexy time. Dude,
always
whenever I
turn
cut the feed, I check like 12 times.
If you're a broadcaster, you always turn your PC off when you're about to have sexy time. That is just the rule. Or just
unplug it. Just unplug it.
I have been known to occasionally unplug the webcam and unplug the microphone,
And
even if
throw a thick blanket over it.
just in case.
And then go to the other room and turn off the outlet, like the power to your house. Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just shutting off all the power. It's okay.
Everything.
This is for your protection and mine.
Like sometimes when I walk past my computer, if I'm not completely dressed, I'm like, ooh. Like even though even though OBS isn't even on, I'm like never sure. All right, greatest gaming achievement. I got stuck on DJ Hero 2 and finally got a perfect on hard. Couldn't get expert for I'm Not Alone by Calvin Harris / Show Me Love by Robin S. and Say Something by Timberland featuring Drake. Jesus Christ.
God damn.
He got stuck on DJ Hero 2 and he finally got perfect on a bunch of songs.
Oh, that was I thought that was all one song. I was like, God, it just keeps going.
I read it earlier and I think
it would make
multiple mixes.
It would make sense in DJ Hero.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's just reading them all's a lot.
I actually smash my computer and buy a new computer every time I finish broadcasting just to make sure it doesn't happen.
All right, and Chef R. Boy D's top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Gran Turismo.
5?
I'm going to go with 2.
I'm going to go with 4.
Wrong. 4.
Woo! I would pull that out of my ass.
Number 4, Kingdom Hearts.
2.
1.
Hopefully 1.
You know, the fans always say one, but they really mean to. That's the one they like, but they know it's not as cool to say they like.
Kingdom Hearts 2. This one's for Brad, and I can't wait for 3 to come out.
Well, he did it because of me.
Yeah. His number 3 game of all time is Final Fantasy.
I'm going to go with 10.
9, bro.
Nah. Some on PS2.
8 maybe.
10.
Yeah.
His number 2 game
You
of
win this
all
time,
time
Brad.
is Super Mario.
64.
I'm going to go with Galaxy.
Sunshine maybe. Maybe he's one of
Super
those.
Mario 64.
Woo woo! That's 2 for me.
His number 1 game of all time is Grand Theft Auto.
3.
San Andreas.
Vice City.
5.
Fuck.
He says specifically the online.
I keep
because he
forgetting
never
that
finished the
sometimes
story
our
mode.
little rule of like the 2-year rule, whatever, does not apply
Yeah.
to everybody. So I tend to avoid games that just came out. I can see that though. It is probably a superior game to most in the
Pretty
franchise.
big.
Yep.
It is pretty damn big. And I will be getting the PS4 version soon because I want to take part in. We're going to hopefully be doing another one of those multiplayer nights sometime soon. That was fun.
We're doing the PS4 version? I mean,
Well,
PS4. Or for some reason I thought you said PC.
Oh,
Or like, and I was like, why?
y'all are, that's
No,
what y'all
yeah.
were playing on last time, right?
Yeah, PS4.
Hey,
I was about to have a heart attack. I was like, I'm
So-
not playing on PC.
would you accept someone putting Alan Wake's American Nightmare? Is that it?
American McGee's
Alan Wake,
Horror
American
Story?
Nightmare?
Alan Wake American Nightmare, sorry. On their top 10 games of all time?
Maybe if they hadn't played Alan Wake.
Oh, see?
But that's honestly that's
All
only
right,
because
moving on.
Hey,
American
Fred,
Nightmare doesn't
This
feel.
week,
God damn it,
Chef Our Boy D is up against Lucito.
Lucito.
Racist.
His name in chat is Good Loser Brosito from a suburb in Illinois. Shameful secret.
Screw that. He's from Kincaid, West Virginia.
Chris
I have
Thacker.
never played a Legend of Zelda game, but somewhere in my game collection is Barbie Race and Ride for the
Wait.
PS1 that I've played on multiple occasions.
Nice.
That's the second Barbie-related shameful secret we've had in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Remember that one time,
if you're a
Brad?
kid and like maybe your sister gets a Barbie game for your console, you're gonna check it out.
Everybody
Why
remember
not?
that time Brad was like, this guy and I always seems eye to eye with me on taste in games, and the first thing out of his mouth was, I played all the Barbie games. That's great. So,
Yep. Good Loser Brosito's greatest gaming achievement. Not much an achievement, but I am proud of getting my friends into Tekken and helping them understand the basics of the game. As an aspiring teacher, being able to teach my friends a fighting video game, tells me that I might have a future in teaching. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Especially getting someone into a fighting game. Those games aren't like just pick it up and go with it. Those are pretty complicated,
Yeah.
and especially getting down to the nitty gritty of them.
A lot of muscle memory to learn.
His top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Metal Gear.
solid 3.
Solid.
Solid 2.
Solid 3.
It's 3 about 90% of
His number
the time,
4
guys.
game is Portal
1. Portal.
2.
Damn it.
Number 3 game of all time is Valkyria.
Chronicles.
2.
2.
Valkyria Chronicles 3.
Valkyria Chronicles. You're all wrong.
Those sequels are not even close to the quality of the first games.
Number 2 game of all time is Final Fantasy.
9. As it should
I'm
be.
going with 8 again.
I'm going to go with 10.
Tactics.
Hmm.
And his number 1 game
We
of
all
all
know
time
who Brad's going to pick now. Sorry.
is Brave.
Fencer Musashi.
I have no
yeah,
idea.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Brave Little Toaster. I'm just
What?
kidding.
Okay.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
I was like, whoa, they made a game for that?
Says he's been lurking since the first Project M and has always enjoyed it.
When I
Nice.
was a kid, Brave Little Toaster made me cry.
Oh, me too.
It was also one of my favorite movies.
I fucking watched the shit out of Brave Little Toaster. That and Homeward Bound.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. That movie scared me sometimes.
It was.
And it made me cry.
Yeah.
And it made me smile.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
I'm afraid to
Don't go back and watch it. I haven't, but I don't want to.
I want to watch Brave Little Toaster.
What about Milo? Wait, what about Milo and Otis?
What about Fievel Goes West?
Oh,
Dude, that movie.
American Tail.
American Tail.
That movie made me
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
You want to know what?
That's what I was thinking of.
You want to know
American
what
Tail.
kids movie, like animated film, like actually scared the shit out of me when I was a kid? The Secret
Fern
of
Gully.
Nim. The Secret of Nim.
That
movie-
I didn't like that movie.
That movie scared like it would probably still scare me if I went back to watch. That movie is creepy as
They're
fuck.
making a new one.
That was
What?
They're making
Like an animated?
I heard they're
that?
making a new Nim movie.
that was Flowers for Algernon, right? Or like that came from that.
I think so.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just
All
remember.
right, so once again, we have Chef
Fuck that.
Our Boy D up against Good Loser Brosito. Chef Our Boy D had sex while playing GTA 5 online. He did really good on DJ Hero 2 songs, and his top 5 games were Gran Turismo 4, Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy 10, Super Mario 64, and GTA 5.
What if you just
Up against Good Loser Brosito, who's ashamed that he's played Barbie but not Zelda. Got his friends into Tekken as his greatest gaming achievement. His top 5 games were Metal Gear Solid 3, Portal 2, Valkyria Chronicles, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Brave Fencer Musashi.
question?
Answer.
What if you just did Chatter of the Week like that speed?
That speed every
like
time?
you did every time.
I mean, I could.
That's no fun, Brad.
What?
That's no fun.
I mean, we really do just break it down to like
How about doing the 4-player minute that fast?
which.
That's a good point, Chris Davis.
But this is information that he can deliver quickly as opposed to ranting, and stuff.
Hey, we would never. I enjoyed our conversation.
Pick your poison.
I'm going with Chef Arbor D because Super Mario 64 is great. Obviously, we played it this year, and I enjoyed the conversation about panicking about being around a computer during sex. It's funny.
Brosito picked Brave Fencer Musashi as his favorite game. That's inspired.
And he picked, and that was only.
Brave Fencer Musashi is a cool little game.
Also, you know what else was a cool little game? Final Fantasy Tactics.
I liked his top 5 overall, but
Crispy?
Well,
I see eye to eye with people who like Barbie games.
yeah, definitely. the second guy's top 5 is much more in tune with the kind of stuff I play. So I definitely like that better. But I'm gonna give it to the first guy because his game is at baller level.
Come on, teaching.
That was his wife.
Teaching Tekken inspired him
he
to
was
become a
married.
teacher. That
You're
was
right. That does
Brosito,
not-
right? That, I can feel that because I've tried to teach people Tekken before, and that's not easy.
I just like
I
that
was
he opened
also
it
going
up
to give
with.
it to Brosito, so we have a tie.
I just like that Chef Arbor D said that his wife was nagging him for sex.
Yeah.
So he screwed her. That's what he said.
I don't have a coin today. He did say screwed.
He did.
Screwed. We have a
But maybe
tie
that's the
and I don't
language
have a
they
coin.
use, which is totally cool. I'm not going to judge.
How do we do this?
I'm thinking of a number.
RNG.
I'm just kidding.
Does that happen?
What?
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Heads.
Heads? Well, I didn't.
We haven't
I
done
didn't
it yet.
fucking pick who it was.
Stop doing
okay,
it.
hold on. Stop. Heads is gonna be our Chef Our Boy D. Tails is Brosito.
all right. Flip it, Chris.
Heads.
Bullshit.
Chef Our Boy D wins.
Congratulations, Chef Arboy D. You are a chatter of the week.
If you would like to be, he also mentioned that he does stream on Twitch. I looked at he has some like rap battles.
He's
and
he's a competitor.
Rap battles?
Give it to the other guy. Just kidding.
yeah, he apparently. I
Wait,
just
the
looked
first
at,
guy?
Yeah, I just looked at a few of his
Dude, he
highlights.
totally is baller.
So if you'd like to be Chatter of the Week, all you have to do is go to 4playernetwork.com, click on the big Chatter of the Week box, submit your meat stuff, and then you too could be Chatter of the Week.
Your meat stuff?
And tune into Chef Arbor D's channel. You might catch him fucking his wife.
I don't think you're allowed to do that on Twitch.
Oh my god.
But it'll be an accident.
If they're married, it's completely alright.
Dude, oh my god. I was about to be like, Brad, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny. All right, it's time to wrap up the podcast now with the 4-player minute. Let's try and go quickly.
Nope.
Brad, you like to start us out? Or do we wrap the show up with our hype, our sweat, our fuck you, and our thank you of the week.
My sweat is unsung story. I have not heard about that game in a while. I have not received one of those Kickstarter backer emails in a while. I'm nervous. I want that game to come out and be cool.
That'll probably get canceled.
My fuck you for the week goes to all those nuts and bolts haters because you know what? I've been playing. I understand the charms of Banjo Kazooie the original. You know what? That game is a delight. But you know what? Nuts and Bolts was them trying to make a game with this new, innovative, fun mechanic, but still have the DNA of Banjo Kazooie. And I think they were successful. I think you guys, whiny bitches, crying, that this type of game that was run into the ground in the N64 era didn't come back. When Rare had the idea of doing something creative and new, their juices were flowing in that era. They also put out Viva Pinata, which was cool. Maybe you should quit being Rare haters.
I fucking loved the Viva Pinata commercials.
Escalo says, "Suck my nuts and bolts."
The Viva Pinata commercials were the best fucking commercials. Do you remember those? Where like the fucking pinata was talking to the kids and stuff? I'll pull one up after the show.
Anyways, my thank you.
I don't remember those.
My thank you goes to Konami for taking the first steps towards shutting down completely. I'm glad. I hope this happens.
I hope we never hear from you again.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
And my hype is for The Witcher 3, guys. Man, I'm still reading these Witcher books. These fan translated Witcher books. Oh my god, dude.
Thanks.
Oh, I can't wait. Series so rad.
Thanks, the GIF.
Series so rad.
All right, you done?
Yeah.
All right, my 4-player minute starts now. My hype is they just announced a new Dragon Ball show. It's called Dragon Ball Super, and Akira Toriyama is actually working on it. He's
writing it.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like fucking GT. It's going to be good. And I'm excited. It's coming off the hype of the last
They already
movie.
said that GT is not canon, right? Canon.
I mean, so technically this series is going to take place like right after the Boo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, GT's still in the future compared to that. But, I mean, I don't consider GT canon.
No one does. You know what? I don't consider canon Hayden Christensen. You know what? Who considers Hayden Christensen canon? Disney. If there's a Force Ghost Anakin, we could be seeing Hayden Christensen in these new movies. Think about it. Who's going to be Force Ghost Darth Vader?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna.
Maybe he'll be wearing the Darth Vader suit.
That doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Hey, you know what?
Why not? The other people appear in the clothes they wore when they died.
Hey, you know what? Hayden Christensen's performance in that movie was probably hindered so bad by the fucking shit ass writing in it.
I think it was so. I think it was more so they appeared as they were in their hearts when they died, and when what's his face? What's Darth Vader? Anakin died. He had turned back to the good side of the Force, which is why originally he appeared as himself.
That's some hippy dippy feel good bullshit.
But you're okay with them showing him as Anakin?
No, I would be okay with them showing him as Darth Vader.
Hey, Hayden Christensen might be a bad actor
because those clothes
but
died with him.
He couldn't be a worse. His acting could not be any worse than the fucking writing in that movie. Yes, I saw it twice on a.
He was good in Shattered Glass
on the same plane ride.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
He was good in Shattered Glass.
Moving on. That was my hype. My sweat is for this new Dragon Ball Super. I really want it to be good because
you also wanted to come to the United States.
Was my that's the thing. Is my childhood. I fucking love that series. I recently rewatched all the way up to the Boo, not through Boo, with Bernadette, and she actually kind of enjoyed it. And I'm really hoping they do bring this to the States. I mean, it hasn't been. I'm sure they will eventually.
I'm sure it will.
What if it's all pervy and there's like tits in it?
It's not going to be.
Dude, that'd be rad.
That's not the Dragon Ball
Dude, that'd be rad.
All right, my thank you goes to Kojima for I don't know what you did, but for finally leaving Konami. It's kind of like he's been under their thumb for so fucking long.
Sure, he could have at least waited till after Silent Hills was done.
Yeah, I don't know if that was his choice though.
Probably not. But still.
And thank you for all that you do. Do you like it? I wonder if he says that after sex. Did you like it?
Oh my god.
I'd probably just say something in Japanese.
Well, what if he's having sex with an American?
Bitch, he just drops the mic and walks out the room. He's Kojima.
I'm sure he has some weird twist at the end. My god.
This has already gone too far.
And anyway, my fuck you for this week. My fuck you goes to, I guess, Amazon Prime or whoever is in charge of the fucking shit that they put out. Because last night I was like, I really want to watch Batman the Animated Series. Right?
Yeah.
I fucking love that show. It's not on Netflix. I find out it's on Amazon Prime. It's instant. Really? Yeah, the first season for free. So I jump on there, queue up the first episode, the one with the fucking bat on leather wings, I think is what it's called.
With the Man-Bat episode?
Yeah, the first one. Here comes that fucking intro, right? Wait, no, it's some fucking animated Adventures of Batman and Superman intro. It's not the original 90s series intro. It's some fucking bullshit mashup of Superman and Batman. And I'm flipping the fuck out. I'm like in my kitchen making dinner, and I'm like
I'm in my pajamas and I'm freaking out.
Like fucking frustrated, and I'm just so angry.
That intro is classic.
Yeah, and then they actually have the intro on the rest of the episodes. It's just not the first one. But whoever decided to fucking put it on the first one can go fuck themselves. Because I was really pissed off, because Batman, the animated series, is one of my favorite Batmans. And that actually kind of got me into I'm like, do I want to start reading Batman comics?
Koshiro says, I bet Kojima just has an hour-long monologue during sex. Sorry. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, fuck. He stole my joke.
Oh my god.
I was going to say something about, it ends, but then he keeps talking for a really long time.
That's clever. That's clever.
God damn it. I was just trying to be...
Alright, that was my 4-player minute.
Okay, I got a fiver this week. Alright, I got 5 things. First of all, my thank you goes to Nick for the beer. Thank you, Nick.
You're very welcome.
My fuck you for the week goes to people who grief in Helldivers, because that's just fucking dumb.
People who grief in any game.
Yeah, it's just so easy in Helldivers. And it's like, fuck you. Really, fuck you.
Yeah, come on. Just fuck you.
I'm trying to get my fucking shit on, and you're ruining my night. My hype goes for being able to play as Nightwing and Robin, and to a lesser extent Catwoman and Arkham Knight. Aww. I hope that's cool. Yeah, well, I didn't really like playing as Catwoman. I didn't like playing as Catwoman in Arkham City because I didn't like how she moved.
She did have
that whole whip thing was kind of weird.
Good on you.
Don't you mean Brabin?
Brabin. My sweat for this week goes to the fucking Batman Arkham Knight season pass for $40. What the fuck is in that? What the fuck is in that?
Not $40 worth of content.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Oh my god, that's
fucked.
a game.
And then my
Divinity was $40.
My what the fuck for the week goes to a fan theory I was reading about concerning Bloodborne. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was more about the origin of the blood that people in Bloodborne consume and use. So
hippie blood.
Yeah. People in Bloodborne in Yharnam, they like to drink blood.
Are you spoiling this thing right now?
No.
Okay.
This is all a theory just based on observations this guy made throughout the eye. They talk about blood at one point being a holy medium, and this theory basically says that all the blood, the special blood that people use for whatever, blood ministration, is all menstrual blood. Which is why when your character gets covered in blood, that doesn't do anything for them. They have to take the special vial blood. Any vials of people's blood that you're given in the game are given to you by women, except for the old lady you meet who doesn't give you any blood because she's
oh my god,
in menopause or past menopause, so she doesn't menstruate anymore. The big kind of MacGuffin character later in the game, the queen or whatever she is.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about her, but
careful.
It's a side thing.
She's bleeding a lot. They're talking a lot about...
What the fuck?
They talk a lot about birth. They talk a lot about babies. They talk a lot about other things. If you just look if you want, look up Bloodborne, period blood or...
No, I will not be looking that up.
It was really fucking weird, but the guy made a convincing argument. Made a really convincing
Well, it makes for an interesting read at the very least.
I'm going to write an essay about what Banjo Kazooie really means.
Oh my god. Alright, my 4-player minute starts now. My fuck you of the week goes to Konami for canceling Silent Hills.
Just remember, I invented fuck you, Konami.
And that's the show, guys. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I have in me. That's all I can think about right now. A big, giant, great big fuck you to Konami. Only you, literally, only you could ruin something so promising. It's incredible. I can't even form words. I'm not even excited about stuff right now. I'm not even excited. Just fuck everything. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of 4Player Podcast, the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned after the show. If you're watching us live on Twitch, we're going to be broadcasting Terror Tuesday. I think, Brad, you're going to be playing
Siren 2?
Siren 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
So stick around for that. And what else? I will not be here next week, but we will still have a podcast.
Yep.
Someone will be filling in. It'll should be fun. So be here next week, next Tuesday night, same time, same place for another episode. And of course, you can watch us broadcast games every single fucking night over at 4pp.tv. And I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.